you think the causes are of this? Like, why are, the collective of BOK men so aggressive towards black women, but not anyone else? Because you very rarely see them respond like that when there are white tea women telling them that they don't belong somewhere, or asking to see their ID, or blocking them from going inside a restaurant or an apartment building when they're delivering something. They normally just accept those things. You very rarely see that type of aggression, like, towards the others. So I wanted to talk about that. And I also wanted to ask you guys, like, as far as this like extreme aggression, why does it affect BOK men way more than it affects BOK women? Because I'm not saying that black women won't get smart with you or whatever the case may be, but I very rarely see them aggressively getting into men's faces for no reason, the way I see BOK men doing that to BOK women all the time. So that's the topics that I really wanted to talk about. Side note, I also wanted to talk about DV, and is there a limitation to the empathy that you will extend towards a woman in a DV situation if she keeps going back over and over and over again? I just really wanted to know people's thoughts and perspectives on that. I don't really have, like, I guess I don't have an opinion on that. So I want anyone to think that whatever they say, I'll have an opinion. I don't. I'm kind of more open to hearing other people's perspectives and what they think about that on as a side note. But anyway, and the reason why I ask about that is because I have blocked E. Kane from social media. However, I did see somebody, I guess, had recorded a live stream of hers or something. And, she's pregnant. And now I see that she's back with Chris. And I saw her bedroom. It was very nicely decorated. And she was talking about the fact that Chris was breaking up things in her home. I can't tell you how many times she's invited that man into her home, that I've seen videos going viral of every home that she's been in, that she's invited that man into, that he has destroyed everything in there that he did not pay for, nor could he afford to replace. And I'm just flabbergasted that she would allow him back inside. But I just wanted to know, like, because I actually may need some help. Like, exactly what do you do? Like, how, when you see things like that, how does that make you feel? Can you stand behind someone? What do you do? Like, how, when you see things like that, how does that make you feel? Can you stand behind someone? Sorry. I was saying, can you stand behind someone if you see those things going on, or would you have to withdraw from the situation? So that's another, like I said, question I had. I just wanted to know. But yeah, I tell you, I just saw a man that had critically injured his son, his 20-month-old son, by punching him in the stomach and perforated his bowels, and threatened the mother, like, not to take the child to the doctor. But apparently, I think he went to sleep or something like that. And then the mother snuck and took the boy to the ER. And they said that if she hadn't did that, the boy would have passed away. And of course, they arrested the father that did it. And they said that this man previously had, like, trafficking violations and DV allegations and all of these type of things. Oh, wait a minute. I just see what Calandra said. Calandra said, I think women should be supported because it's mental abuse. I mean, I could totally understand that. But I wanted to talk about it. Like, why are there so many BOK men unaliving black women and children? I just also heard another story. This man just did this last month. He has a long laundry list of a criminal history. He got into it. They don't even know why, but he I guess he broke into his sister's house or something, but he unalived his sister and also unalived her 11. It was 11 or 12-year-old son as well. And he was just sitting there, And we hear these stories and stuff all the time about BOK women and children being unalived. And, the majority of the time, intraracial, because not inter, but intra-racial, which is true. But I'm not here to talk about other, races, you know, situations that they have as far as the violence and crime in their communities, because I'm not affected by it because I'm not in their communities per se. But I would really like to talk about why there are so many BLK men unaliving BWs and children. And I really would like to talk about it. And yeah. And I also want to talk about you know, wait, hold on. Netta says this is why when I talk about having separatist BLK communities, I always say no. I feel like if there was any type of separate black community, which there could be, I believe that only women should be allowed there, truthfully. And I know this will probably be shocking, but when people talk about having black boys there, I don't think they should be there either. I believe it should be just all women, all black women, all black girls, and then, black men and black boys could start their own communities. If that's what we were doing, I'm not saying that that's what we should do or anything. I'm just saying that if that was a thing, it should be separated by gender for sure. Because, there are a lot of young black boys that do things too that are inappropriate. I just saw a viral video of a 13-year-old black boy going on some older white tea lady. She was in her 70s porch and fondling her butt and rubbing on it and essaying her. And I was just flabbergasted. Like, he was only 13. So, like, if you were to start a community with women and say it's women and children, and you were to have him in there and he's 13, he would be in there trying to assault the ladies in there. So, and for anybody that comes across this that is not black, please don't think that this that you are escaping anything. White tea men make up the majority of all child rape, SA, abuse, child abuse material, and everything else. Like the largest demographic of men that actually violate their own children. So I really need y'all to know that y'all have horrible things as well. Matter of fact, I just saw a story of they got exposed on Snapchat, a husband and wife that were doing all of these things with their dogs, and then also making their children do things with their dogs and filming them. And some of their children was as young as like 6 that they had doing things with dogs. So, and them. So, yeah, that's the type of stuff that they be on. So I just don't do me. And this is crazy because when I say things like this, people be trying to say that I be trying to protect black men. I don't. I just always feel like, sometimes people would try to make it seem as if black people are like the degenerates of society and only black people do certain type of things, when literally it's not just us, it's everybody, and definitely men across the world in any race. So that's all I'm saying, but I'm not trying to protect nobody, just so that y'all know. But yeah, anyway, those are the topics that I wanted to talk about today, y'all, about this once again, black femicide, misogynoir. Number one, why are so many BLK men unaliving black women and children? Number two, why are BLK men so angry and aggressive towards black women but docile with everyone else? Number three, BLK men cheering when another BLK man publicly disrespects BLK women. Well, perfect example is that angry ginger man that went viral in the UK that was yelling at the black women. Number four, what do you think the causes of this are, and why is it affecting black men so much? And honorable mention number five, I wanted to talk about, do you think that there's a time if you see a woman that is involved in a DV situation to where you just will no longer have any empathy for her? Like if she keeps going back and back and back, or do you think that you would extend that empathy and that grace forever? Is it, you know what I'm saying? Is it just unconditional? All right, so those are the topics, man. If you want to talk about these, please send me a request and get in the box. And yeah, and if you disagree, it'd be even better. All right, go ahead, Kalandra. You had something to say, sis? And hey, good afternoon.
Hey Trigger, how are you? I think black men are unaliving black women and children because they have undiagnosed mental health issues. I think they have serious problems and they need to be in a psychiatric ward. Because did you say he punched his 20-month-old child? Like, wait a minute.
Yep. He said he was the baby was annoying him.
Yeah, like I said, they need to be in psychiatric wards. A lot of them definitely need to be in there because they don't have emotional regulation. They need to be in psychiatric hospitals. Why are black men so angry? I feel like they're angry because, and I think the reason why why they down black women so much is because they're mad where they are in life. So when you're comparing yourselves to other races of men, and you're like, they're here and I'm nowhere near there, it's easy for you as a man to say, hey, I'm doing better than some of these women. Black men cheering when another black man get publicly dead. Yeah, that just shows how they're not protectors, providers, leaders, none of that. And that's why how I never understood Pikmi women, because these men are not protectors, providers, none of that. You would have thought that a man would have checked them, checked that guy who was going off screaming like, those black women better than me, because I think I would have walked off and left. You're not gonna talk to me like that. I think the cause of it is they have undiagnosed mental health. I'm telling you, a lot of them like that. They have undiagnosed mental health issues. Why does it affect me? Because I think black men are coddled, and because it's always going to be somebody to be like, well, and justify them. That's what I think. But I think when it comes to a woman going back to a DV situation, I personally believe women eventually get tired. Now, yeah, I don't think you should do whatever. I mean, I say for me, if I had a friend like that, I would help her, because I definitely was in a situation like that where I went back a couple times. But I think eventually people get sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Okay, so let me ask you a question then. What do you think about someone like EK? You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know if
No,
it's
but for
like
me, I
some.
don't like Ekane, so I can't stand the ground she walks on. So I personally, when it comes to her, she's a pygmy woman who clearly doesn't love herself, and she's not a girl's girl, and she a pygmy. So I feel like when you a pygmy, women like that, I feel like they should be left to their own situations. I mean, you send a thought and a prayer, but other than that, I could care less about that ugly woman. I'm sorry.
See, my thing is this, Kalandra. I feel like I be having to check myself because she like really grinds my gears so much. And it's just like the choices and the decisions that she makes are so stupid that I don't even know if I can even look at her as a victim. It's like you get one apartment, this man gets mad at you and breaks up everything that you have inside your home. He breaks up your TVs, the front TVs, he's destroying things, he's breaking them up. He knows that he doesn't have any money because he's a bum to replace anything. You make this big thing that you're going to leave him alone. You get another place. He does the exact same thing again. He breaks your TVs up. He destroys your belongings. He disrespects you. And then you make this big thing that you're leaving and then go do it again. And not only do it again, but you're pregnant. And now you're back on live crying and he's breaking up all of your things yet again, that at the end of the day you're going to be the one that has to replace it, and he's not going to help you do anything. I just can't understand it. Like I've been in a DV situation before with my first husband, and you know what I'm saying, I just feel like at this point, it's been way, how people say that it takes somebody like 7 times to leave. It's been way more than 7 times. And I just find it to be like, at what point do you draw the line from like being a victim to like, you're an idiot. Like I just can't even, I have to actually turn away from anything that you got going on because of the things that you're doing. But I definitely agree with what you said, and I definitely believe she's a pick me too. I've seen the way she tries to talk to other women when she's in the presence of other men and stuff like that, which is all bad. But I always feel like women that are like super pick me's, they always attract the worst of men anyway. Like, because the men that have some decency to them are never attracted to women like that. They're never attracted to women that don't have a mind, that'll do whatever a man say. That's how I feel about it. But yeah, like I just saw that she was pregnant. And then because I had blocked this lady, I had blocked EK because I just cannot, I cannot. You know what I'm saying? And to watch her, somebody had clipped her video and had it in my feed, and she over there crying and hooting and hollering. It's just like, how many times I or anyone else feel empathy for you, for this man breaking up your things when you know that's what he gonna do? You know he not gonna change. So why are you keep going? Like, you have no reason not to. You're a social media personality. You're getting a lot of money. You always showing yourself at the bank and showing everybody that you have all of this money. You don't have to deal with what you got going on. You don't. So I don't know. I just it's stressful. Seeing her story. I'm just so glad that she's not anybody I know personally, because boy, she'd be making my blood pressure go super high. But anyway, I you know what I was thinking though when I was watching that video of the redheaded hey, how you doing, Finay? When I was watching that what's his name? The video of the angry ginger man that you were talking about, how you said that like the girls weren't affected by what he was saying. You're right, because I seen another video where they continued it and they showed him he was still going off, and like another man was trying to hold him back or whatever. He was saying like, y'all mad that I won't F y'all. Y'all mad that I won't F y'all. Oh, Fana. Oh my goodness, Fana. I thought it was Fanae. Now I done messed it up. I'll try my best not to forget it again. Sorry, Fana. Um, when they were trying to hold him back, and he was like, you know what he say? He was like, y'all just mad that I won't F y'all. Y'all just mad that I won't F y'all. And I'm thinking like, that's how I know a lot of these black men live in delusion, because look at yourself in the mirror, sir. Like, you look like a doggone albino gingerbread rat man. You don't got no hair on your head. You badly built. You built like a doggone duffel bag or a pillowcase full of rocks, and you think that black women are mad that you're dating outside of your race? Like, thanks for the gift, Fana. It's like, come on now. Like, don't nobody care. Don't nobody care that you're dating outside of your race. And I really wish that a lot of times black men would really look in the mirror and be realistic with their own self. The majority, and I would venture to say like 95% of black men that date out exclusively, black women do not want and do not care about, and wouldn't even look at you if you did date black women. It's always the ugly ones. It's always the bad built ones. It's always the no hairline or no hair at all ones. It's never nobody fine. It's never nobody fine. Like, and that's what I mean. And that's the reason why you're mad at black women. And that's the reason why you had to go out in the first place, is because black women don't like you. So this whole aggression and the whole thing of them talking about like show like how he was like, show me your hair, show me your hair, show me your hair. Like, how many black women have full heads of hair underneath their wigs, full braids? That's how you keep it, keeping your hair put up. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're natural or if you have 4C hair. Cause I have 4C hair, and my hair is not the type that needs to be out and I need to constantly be manipulating and doing things to it. Most of the time my hair is braided up. Period. Braided in some boho braids or some knotless braids, or braided up in cornrows, or braided up underneath a wig, or whatever the case may be. Most of the time it's put up, but I have a lot of hair. And this whole thing is just rooted in racism anyway, trying to act like, you know what I'm saying, black women don't have any hair. Like, it's crazy to me. Like, and literally when everybody else is out here wearing weaves, wigs, extensions, clip-ins, fusions, You know what I'm saying? The fact that black women are demonized for something that literally everyone does is also crazy. Like, but I don't know. He was just really getting on my nerves. And I really, when he was talking about he was going to bring in his Indian woman, I really wanted to know what she looked like. Because most of the time when black men get with women of other races, they don't never be hitting on nothing. They're always the cast offs of the other community, the women that their men do not want. You know what I'm saying? Unless possibly sometimes if the man has some money, then she might be okay. But even in that arena, like that, I remember I seen like what was that like last month? Jamie Foxx was popping out with a whole car full of white tea girls. All of them look mid. All of them. And I hate to really judge women on their looks, but I'm only saying it because it is going on with my point. These weren't attractive women. They weren't. They weren't. Even when, if y'all remember, did y'all see that picture of Anthony Mackie that went viral of him like on the streets kissing some white tea girl? That girl looked that girl looked like she had some type of syndrome. I don't know what syndrome, but something bad. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe inbred DNA. I don't know, but she wasn't cute at all. And this is not me hating on another woman. If she was pretty, I would say so. You know what I'm saying? Because I said this before on the record, like Shannon Sharp, right? The girl that Shannon Sharp ended up paying all that money to was not pretty at all to me. She was just a mediocre looking white tea girl. However, I did hear Shannon Sharp. He was talking, I think he was talking to Chad Ochocinco or whatever about another white tea girl that did OnlyFans that he was interested in talking to. Now, I looked that white tea girl up for the life of me. I can't remember her name right now, but I looked her up and she was very pretty. Very pretty, face tea, hair tea, body tea. I was like, oh yeah, she's actually really a very pretty white girl. You know what I'm saying? But the majority of the time, these black men are not getting with none of these women that even look like nothing. So why they definitely don't look like nothing where black women would be somewhere pulling out their hair like, oh my gosh, she looks so much better than black women. She looks so much better than us. Like that very rarely ever, if ever, happens. So I really wish that they would have just called his bluff and said, let me see her. Bring her out. Bring her out. You talk about my hair. Let me see her.
That woman that Shannon Sharp paid that money to, I thought she looked like the Teletubby.
Girl, she not cute at all. Yeah, she got a weird looking face and a big old head. I thought the same thing. I was like, wow, this is who you pay 20 some $1 million to? You're a dummy. For sure. Like I said, he talks about this other OnlyFans chick that look way better. But maybe that girl wasn't on it because like I said, she was really pretty. So she probably felt like, look, I can go get with some rich white tea men. I don't have to entertain Shannon Grandpa Sharp. You know what I'm saying? So maybe her standards weren't that low. So that's why he could only fantasize about her. He couldn't get with her, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I really wish that's one thing that those girls would have did. I wish they would have called his bluff and said, let me see her. Let me see what she looked like because I can guarantee you, whatever Indian woman he was talking about, she was not hitting for nothing. Because if she was hitting, like he said, if she was a 10, why would she be with him? It's like, Negro, you don't even got teeth in your mouth and no hair on the top of your head. And you mean and nasty and rude and aggressive. Because if you're mean and nasty and rude and aggressive to black women, you're mean and nasty and aggressive to her. The same way he said he don't want to be with black women because black women don't want to be put in a place. And I'm gonna put you in your place. So you mean to tell me you think Indian women want to be put in a place? Indian women want to be dominated and disrespected? Okay. I don't believe no woman that's a 10, that's so beautiful, so all of that would be with him then. Because she could be with somebody in her own community then. Who would you look like dating out and getting treated piss poorly by somebody that's not even in your culture? That's dumb. So like I actually don't believe it anyway, but I really wish they would because I'm gonna tell you right now. I lurk, I think I've told everybody this, but I lurk in a whole lot of like Manosphere, Kevin Samuels groups and stuff like that where they really talk real bad about black women and stuff. And this happened probably like a year and a half ago. I was underneath one of my fake profiles, right? And I was talking to this black man, and he was talking about how black women are so ugly, and he got a white wife, and she's finer than any black woman walking, and black women be so jealous when they see his woman and stuff like that. And I told this man, because I was talking to him underneath a male profile. I told him, post a picture of your wife. This man posted a picture of this lady. This lady looked like a cross between Bride of Chucky, you know what I'm saying? Like that big, fat, weird looking face, and like an inbred monster lady. Like, I was like flabbergasted. And he was like, yeah. I was like, the most unattractive black woman on her worst day would be killing his wife, like, unaliving his wife. Like, hands down. It was just like I was flabbergasted, and that's why I never trust black men when they talk about their non-black partner, and that they just so, I never believe it, because it don't never be true. Never, ever, ever. Like, I can't even think. Let me think. I can't even think of any instance, even right now, that I've seen of a black man that was dating out of someone with another race, that the woman was just stunning. And this is going for celebrities too. But y'all can let me know if y'all know any, because I can't think of not even one.
For me, I'ma say it as a plus size black woman. I've definitely been criticized by these black guys one time, but his wife was about bigger than me, and she was white. They definitely don't date cute white women, especially ones that's not famous. They don't date like attractive white women. I ain't never saw. They look like most of them be the characters like women that be on the 600 pound light. But I think it's like Supervillain said that one time. I think for some of them is they want to be white so bad. Any type of white woman is cute is fine for them. But nobody be saying that self hate be real. And then they have third grade reading levels too. So that self hate be real.
I totally agree with you, and I definitely agree with you and Supervillain when y'all talking about like the actual skin color is the prize, because I'm gonna tell you right now, as much as plus size black women get a negative rap amongst certain black men, they will take a big back Becky any day of the week. Any day of the week, they'll take her. Like, she could be ugly too. Like, she don't even gotta look good. She doesn't have the pretty face or anything. Like, they'll take that. I can't even tell you how many black men I've seen with big Becky's that wasn't hitting on nothing. And it's been so many times, like, I be in the store and they'll be with one, and then they see me and they'll try to like walk behind her like they not with her. And I just be thinking, like, brother, you ain't got to hide, you ain't got to lie, Craig. Go on and get up there with her. Don't try to walk all slow behind her. Now you see me and you embarrassed. Like, that's happened to me so many times, y'all. Like, I remember it even happened one time. It was me and my husband. I think this was like several years ago. We was in Walmart, and this black dude, he was with this white tea woman. She looked terrible. He saw us. He started walking all slow like he didn't even know her. She was trying to go back, turn around, and ask him, did he want something out of the little food, the fridge, the fridge areas that got all the different food in there. He was trying to act like he didn't even hear her. And me and my husband just looking at each other like, yeah, yeah, don't try to act like you don't know her. Cause you seen us playing. Don't be embarrassed, homie. Like, that's happened to me a lot. That's happened to me when I've been by myself, and it's been happened to me when I'm with my husband too. It's crazy. But go ahead, PG 1908. Did you have anything to say, sis?
Yeah, hey, how y'all doing?
Hey,
Hey
how
to
you doing?
everybody on the panel. Is that Calandria? How y'all doing? All right, so triggered. How come black men or BLK males, non-females, keep behaving the way that they behave towards BLK women? I mean, the answer is not going to be one that everybody likes. I mean, BLK males are allowed to behave this way towards us. And here's why they're allowed, because no matter how ill behaved they are with the C-Rack epidemic, with the hip hop era, with the podcast era, with the black exploitation movies, I mean, there's 5 decades of them completely being unhinged and out of pocket. And what keeps happening? We keep trying to marry them. We keep trying to give them children. Well, those that do that, I'm not married anymore and I don't have children, but I mean, it seems like there's no consequence for their behavior. So when they act out towards BLK women, what's the consequence? You know, they still can find a place to stay. They still can get kids. They still can get everything that, they want out of BLK women with no consequence. And I hate it because I wish that BLK women would finally see the light and finally realize that your number one op is the person that you probably laying next to. But BLK women don't want to have that conversation. They don't want to have the conversation about how we as a collective of women contributed to the monster that they are. And that's a difficult conversation, I know, and it has a lot of layers to it. And that also plays on why a lot of these women go back in DV situations. It's because we bully BLK women into being in relationships and being married, and this is why these guys feel so confident to say, well, which one of y'all married? How many of y'all on the panel married? And it's like, first and foremost, I don't have anything to prove to a group of males who have failed under this patriarchy. I don't have anything to prove to you, but they feel so emboldened. They feel so empowered. They feel so confident to throw marriage in your face because it's a bullying tactic. It's a shaming tactic to say that if you don't have one of us, you were less than. And we let this stuff happen. We let this mindset continue. And until we shut it down by refusing to have these ridiculous conversations with them, refusing to, prove anything to them. Oh, I do have a husband, or I'm not, or I don't owe them that information. You are a failed individual under this patriarchy. I don't owe you any information. Go increase your credit score. Go build a hospital. Go build a school. If you can get your cousin to help him out with his school that he's been trying to build for 20 years, go successfully build a school. Go build a grocery store. I don't owe you any information about my relationship status. You have a point to prove, not me. And that's the reason why we have this unchecked arrogance from BLK males, because we don't shut it down when we should.
I mean, I definitely agree with everything that you said, and I do think that that's a problem. I do, and I think that it's a lot of black women that's not ready for that conversation for sure. And I will tell y'all something real quick, and then I'm gonna let Kalandra speak. I don't know if y'all saw this viral story time of this girl. She was talking about she broke up a relationship of 3 years because she went to get something to eat while she was getting her hair done, and she saw this black guy, and he told her, "Hey, you." And she said that she turned around, responded to him. They ended up linking up that day, and she ended up having intercourse with him in the car. But she had told him that she had previously had chlamydia, but she did take the medication, but she didn't check again to see if she had it. And so she said that like he still had intercourse with her, and while he was having intercourse with her, like he was inspecting her like vagina to see, like, I guess to see like if she had something or whatever, even though it's not like you could tell that way. But she said that after he was finished, he looked at her really disgusted and disrespected her and stuff like that. And she said the very next day he called her and they ended up having intercourse again. Again, after he said he looked like he was, she said that he looked at her so disgusted, she never wanted anybody to look at her like that again. She turned around and had intercourse with this man again. And then she ends up getting her hair done later again and finding out that he's somebody else's boyfriend or whatever. And that's the type of stuff I'm talking about that goes right in line with what PG 1908 said. It's like if you have a man that disrespects you, first of all, he said, "Hey, you," right? You talk to him, he meets you that same day, and he don't even take you nowhere. Y'all just meet outside somewhere and you just have intercourse with him in the car. He ain't did nothing for you, don't know you from a can of paint, disrespected you, then turn around and then you meet them the next day and still do something with them again. Like, exactly why would black men have any type of motivation to do better when it's women that do things like that? Because I was flabbergasted that this girl even told the story. I'm like, you don't feel humiliated by none of this? You don't feel a man literally was disgusted by you and your response was to have intercourse with him? I just what? You literally had sex with a man that you know less than 24 hours and then you wonder why he.
These story times gonna have a lot of folks messed up, especially
Girl.
when they get older. When you get in your, well, I don't know if they already in their 30s, but like when you in your 40s or your 50s or whatever, these story times are really gonna have a lot of people messed up, and that's all I'm gonna say.
Mhm. I mean, I agree. I can't imagine like knowing that there's a digital footprint and you telling the world that you had chlamydia, you telling the world you had intercourse with a man you knew less than 24 hours, that he played you and dogged you out. Like, I can't even fathom it, bro. Like, I don't even know. Go ahead, Kalandra.
I saw that story and I was like, girl, don't see. No, I said that's why people need therapists because I tell my therapist my embarrassing stories. I don't tell the internet, but I think clout definitely is a problem. I just want to say I definitely agree with PG. What's her name? 1908. I definitely agree with her. I definitely think black women do have a lot of accountability. Like, I don't know if y'all was seeing this stuff about Sierra, but I hate to say it about it. I hate to say it. Sierra brought a lot of that stuff home with Future for herself. And this is what I'm going to say what gets a lot of women in trouble. Women have got to stop thinking that it was something about that you have as a woman that his last ex did not. That is the problem with a lot of women. When you're out here thinking that you're better than the last, and you just haven't realized how trash she is. Sierra was Future's fourth baby mama, and you didn't have no kids. Mariah decided the same thing. How do these men with all of these kids, with all of these baby mamas, and you have no kids? What is he telling you that's making you be like, yeah, I'm going to be the fourth baby mama? Like, what is a man telling y'all that's making you even want to be a part of that situation? Women's biggest
Sierra had
problem,
got to a certain age, and she felt the pressure of the black community telling her that she needed to settle down. That's what it was.
but you
Just like
settled down,
Rihanna.
but you settled down with the four baby mama. Though. Like that's my point. Like four baby mama, not the first, not the second, but the fourth one. The problem with women is, and I hate to say it, y'all, you have got to stop thinking that you're better than the last woman. You got to stop thinking you're so much different. You're not. He's a trash man. Majority of them are trash. You're not better than her. Because let me tell you something, you're eventually gonna see why. And that's why I say I've always said it, and I stand by this trigger. Women created the terms bitter baby mama and fast little girl to make themselves feel better about dating low life men. You had to make yourself feel better in some type of way. And so what you did was you have so much smoke for these women, and you just haven't realized, instead of looking at it like, dang, that girl could be trying to help me. She could be trying to help me avoid the things that she went through. But instead, you want to think that you're better than people. And see, that's what I'm saying. That's patriarchy working right there. Pinning women against each other.
Um, I definitely agree with you, Kalandra. I do think that a big now, and keep in mind, I do like Sierra. I don't have no problems with her. I think that she's an attractive woman. You know, I like some of her music or whatever the case may be. But I do think that a lot of her situation that she got in with Future is the fact that she did feel like she was superior to those women. I know she thought that, hey, I'm a singer. You know what I'm saying? I'm attractive. I got my own money. I'm better than these women and I know it. And I think that a lot of times that women have got to realize that no, you're not. If a man is a bad man, he gonna be a bad man no matter who it is that he coming across. There ain't no amount of being pretty. It ain't no amount of being able to dance or being able to ride it or being able to do this, that, and the third that's gonna get a man to be right if he not right. Now, I will say that a Future at first did seem like he was trying to at least evolve somewhat to be with her. But at the end of the day, somebody trying to change who they are to fit some type of image, which I felt like he was trying to do, that change is never going to be permanent. I think that's what it is. Cause I hate to really say this, but I'll let y'all know. Like back in the day, I'm talking about years ago. I used to really be plugged into like the celebrity gossip scene and stuff. And I'm talking about like where I knew the stuff was true. It's been stuff that in certain groups that I'm in that I've been in for like years now, at least like 15 years or so. I've been in that they said things back in the day, years and years ago, that have been proven without a fact true now, even back when nobody else knew. And they said the running thing was Sierra was, and she had messed with a few dudes that were famous that had like girls and baby mamas and stuff like that. And she felt like she was so pretty and that she was so much better than a lot of other chicks. And she thought that that should have been enough for them to choose her. So I really do believe that that's probably exactly why she got into that situation with Future, because she probably thought that, you know what I'm saying? Hold on, you guys, my kids, just one second. I'm sorry, y'all. My kids are in there yelling about one of them drinking one of their juices out the fridge. Like, I'm like, what are y'all doing? They over there yelling about somebody snuck and drank, somebody drank, or somebody
Well,
drank the
you
juice
just
in
be
front of them.
serious. Hey, I understand that fight.
Girl, I just came on my cycle yesterday. So today is my first full day. I am I am dying inside. They over here talking about some juice. I was like, bro, like what is wrong with y'all? And my husband in the garage doing his little painting. So he's an artiste. So that's what he like does for his hobbies. So they not all even in here. But anyway, yeah. So but yeah, what I was saying is back when and I'm still involved in all of these like little gossip sites and tea sites and stuff, but I'm saying they were like legitimate. And I really do believe that a lot of that is why Sierra just what Calandra said, but I'm just saying to give y'all like a sort of like truth. I mean, I know y'all probably can't take my word for it, but I'm telling you, the stuff that they were saying in there was real and it was proven to be real. Like everything that anyway, I'm just saying, yeah, I think that had a lot to do with it. That she did probably think that she was superior, you know what I'm saying, to those women and thought somehow there was going to be a different outcome, but it never will be, you know? It never will be, you know? And I wish that more women would realize that. But the same thing happened to Summer Walker. If y'all remember how Summer Walker was talking to the mother baby mamas?
You remember that trigger? Yup. She made a whole album.
Yeah, to the mother baby mamas.
You remember that trigger? Yup. She made a whole album. The
Yeah, she
first
used to
song
talk
on the
real
album
crazy.
was Bitter Baby Mama. And then
Yes.
the last one was about you being before Baby Mama.
Yep.
But like I said, instead of her learning and saying, those women can try to help you to avoid what they went through. See, that's what women problem be. Instead of thinking that the baby mama be bitter, like for example, women that dated my child father, I tried to tell him, he ain't who you think he is. That woman swarming out with bitter, and then look at her crying on podcasts. She was crying on podcasts.
Yep, that's what I'm saying. Like, because I remember Summer Walker used to go in back in them IG days when I used to really be on Instagram. She used to go at them baby mamas. Oh, you need to go take care of your kid. Oh, it's this, that, and the third. You know, London not doing this and not doing that. And them girls was like, oh, okay. She really thought that she was better. And she wasn't. And now she went through the exact same thing that all of them baby mamas did. And I really wish that women would stop letting these men gas their head up. I don't even believe nothing the man tell me about his ex unless I seen it myself. Unless I saw her acting crazy or doing something wild that corroborates what you say. But other than that, I'm never just believing what no man say about a previous woman. Cause more than likely he lying. He lying. Unless with the caveat you've seen it yourself. But other than that, and then maybe then even if you've seen it yourself, what is he doing to even make her crash out? Do you know? Can you find that out? If not, I still might not even take that for face value. You know? Let's see here. But like I said, let's see here. Miss Cece says she actually tried to get close to the mothers and his children. Which one are you talking about? You talking about Summer Walker? Or you talking about Sierra? Which one are you talking about, Miss Cece 1996? Let me know. Cookie says Summer loved calling the women bitter. She did. Like Summer Walker used to talk cash money stuff about baby mamas. And I can't even believe that she even allowed herself to become baby mama the way she talked so badly about those women. That was what was mind boggling to me. Like, you really dogging these women out, like, real bad. only to do the same thing, and that don't even make no sense. And there's nothing wrong with being a single mother. I'm just saying that she has so much hatred to them only to become one. It just didn't even make no logical sense to me. Like it just, yeah, and then they end up saying the same things about them. And just like Calandra said, one thing about them tables, because that's exactly what happened, man. For real. Like if I was London on the tracks, baby mama, I couldn't. I all I would do is call Summer Walker's voicemail and just laugh. I leave a nice little message for her, and it would be nothing but me laughing, nothing but me having a big key. Cause I'd be like, oh, welcome to the club, Effa. Welcome. Have a seat. Lay down. You know what I'm saying? Get comfortable, baby. Oh, Supervillain, you have something to say, sis?
Hey Trig, hey panelists, commenter.
Hey.
I'm just tends across the board agreeing with everything that has been said. I that was a great question. What do these nignogs tell y'all that y'all be willing to be the third or fourth, fifth baby mama? I would love to know because it just don't make no sense. The and as a first baby mama, I get a big brunt of just being a single mom. So to be fourth, I will never understand that. How I just don't. Are they hiding their kids? No, they're not hiding their kids because some of these women are actively participating in helping them raise their other children as well. So I don't know what it is. I want to say a big part of the issue is what I forgot who said it earlier, but the competition. And I've said this on many panels before. In a world where we trying to impress the demographic that literally can't work in a morgue, and I know how I feel about the apple pies, they defenseless on the counter, can't even leave them around. Why are y'all trying to play respectability politics with this demographic? Why are y'all trying to impress men? We could easily be working together and dog walking them, but for some reason, women prefer the competition, and I don't understand why. Trig, I had just earlier came off. It was so disappointing. I had to come off TikTok. It was so disappointing. It was a prompt saying that um like the mistresses are evil spirits and their children like side babies are not innocent, that they are evil spirits coming to disrupt a marriage. And I just really had to, I was in there just listening, and I just had to think, y'all will hold on to a man so hard that an innocent child who didn't ask to be here is an evil spirit. So what is your man? What is your man who impregnated that? They said nothing, no accountability for the husbands. But the side chick is evil and the little baby spirit is evil. I don't understand the male worship, the male validation, but I had to get off the internet because when women are starting to say that babies are evil spirits, I really, it really took me to a place where I'm like, I give up. I really give up. And I love me some women, Trig, but at this point, I didn't know what to say after that. It really bothered me. Somebody had brought up DV and going back the other day, and I was in a room talking about that a while back. I think it's mentioned that it takes about 7 times to really get out. I have a unpopular feeling about that or take on that. I've always said I believe that, especially if you're a woman with children and you were able to get out of the situation safely with your kids and you go back, I believe that should be considered child abuse. I honestly feel that because it's a difference if you can't get out and you remain where you are, but able to leave and then bring your innocent children back into that situation. And he may not be hitting on the children, but just experiencing that type of lifestyle where you got to walk on eggshells, you don't know what's going to happen. The person that you love the most, your mother, might get knocked between the washer and dryer for sneezing too hard. Putting kids in that situation in their formative years, that's child abuse. If it was a sexual abuse and you went back to that man, people would judge you. So why don't people judge when women do this regular abuse with kids. Abuse is abuse is abuse. And I got kicked out of a room for that. And again, that's when I learned I'm okay with being the bad guy when we come and talk about situations like this, because I'm always going to tell the truth. When you get out and you re-enter with your children, that is a form of child abuse, and I don't care what nobody say. A lot of the child abuse cases that women actually are convicted of is because they went back. They don't actually harm their child, but because they are what accessory, I believe what it's called. That's why they love to throw that women get the most child abuse, blah 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 statistic. A lot of the people don't know. A lot of women are just accessory, but you get the same charge, but depending on what the abuse is. So again, when it comes to situations like that, I just look at that as child abuse, and I got a big backlash for saying that. But it got to be a point where you got to put your kids first. And when you do things like that, I don't believe you're putting your child first. I believe you're participating in the abuse. I have some stuff to say on the other things, but I don't want to monologue too much, so I'll spin the block. So I'm gonna yield here.
Uh,
Thank you.
all right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, supervillain. I just wanted to say, like, I see a conversation between Faina and Jagoon in the comments. You guys, I think, may be disagreeing on the amount of Pikmis that there are. Man, I'll tell y'all, that's something that I go back and forth in my own mind a lot. Supervillain is definitely one to know, because when I have certain topics that bring the pick-me's out, I'm always so super flabbergasted, like the Chris Brown discussion that brought out all of these crazy pick-me's that just blew my mind. Sometimes I be feeling like I be wanting to say it's a 50-50, but then sometimes when it be so many, or even like when I discuss like certain type of like dating coaches and stuff like that, and the way that a lot of them just basically are glorified pick me pretenders. They are trying to advise women or coach women on the best way to live their lives to be acceptable to a man's gaze, which is also pick meism. I don't care if you're getting money out of the deal or not, it's still pick meism. If the only reason why you do all of the things that you do is so that a man will like it, you dress a certain way, you talk a certain way, you look a certain way, you act a certain way, all because you hoping that a man like it. That's the same thing. So I don't know, y'all. I can't even say I can, cause sometimes it be seeming like it be a lot, man. It be seeming like it be more than a little bit. I hope that it's not that many, but like certain things, like it do be seeming like I be seeing a lot of them. But I think that if you as a black woman, like you're not on that type of time, and you surround yourself with a lot of other black women that are not on that type of time, then it may seem like it's way more black women that don't think like that. But there maybe actually really are. It's just that your circle not like that, because you're not attracting those type of pick-me's. Because I will tell you, I feel like there's more pick-me's than like regular women. And I'll tell you why. Because if you look at people's platforms that make pick me content, it'd be way more supporters than people that make content like mine. You know what I'm saying? Like the last time before I got blocked by Janine, just a girl, I know she had like 60K, bro. 60K subs. You know what I'm saying? That's more than the majority of black women that I know on TikTok that make the type of content that I do. You know what I'm saying? And even like on like YouTube and stuff, it'd be women that make pick me content and they'll be having like 500K, 250K, 125K. It'd be a lot. And it'd be a lot more support for them than the women that just, and you know me, I'm not even like super like I guess what word could I use? I'm not extreme in some of the things that I say. Y'all know me. I be saying I be trying to stay in the middle and trying to stay reasonable and stuff like that. Even though there's still a lot of people that think that I'm like fanatical, but I don't care. But even somebody like me, like I don't have a lot of like major support or whatnot. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I don't even, like I said, I don't even go hard in the paint. But any woman that really say anything that try to hold men accountable, so somewhat doesn't have like as much support as women that get on here and talk about, oh yes, I will let my husband cheat on me 1,000,000 times and I will stay. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real. But like I said, I mean, I don't know. I also think that there are a lot of, but then my thing is this, is that, and I mean, should I be messy? All right. I said this before, but I really, really have to keep seeing it. There are a lot of women that make, I don't even feel like they make content like mine. They make more extreme content than mine, where they say like all men is bad. They don't like all men. They don't do that and the third. And I find I have discovered that a lot of those women be also super undercover Pikmis. So like that's why I say like the women that speak the most like crazy stuff about men. Okay, I don't even I don't know if you can even believe them. So I think it's a lot more than you think, because I can't tell you how many black women that have been in my lives talking so much trash about men and also about black men. And I have went and seen them in other men panels acting like a totally different woman, begging, 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 begging. And I'm just flabbergasted by it. Like I just discovered one woman that was talking about how she don't take nothing off black men and this, that, and the third. I find a stitch of controversial Shannon telling her, hey, I appreciate the fact that you shared my video. I understand that you were upset that I didn't acknowledge you, but I do. This lady was actually begging for controversial Shannon's approval and acknowledgement. A Negro with a ponytail puff. But when I seen her in lives, she had all of this smoke for men, talking about how she don't never let a man play her. She don't do this, that, and the third. So that just let me know you can't trust half the things these people be saying. That's why I said that like it's be better to trust people that be more reasonable and don't speak in extremes, because you just never know, bro. I can't, like I said, I can't tell you how many black women I've caught doing this, and I never really say nothing. Like it's a couple people behind the scenes that I like be talking to a lot that I might have said like one or two people to, but this has happened to me countless times. And I think I've already told y'all that I was befriended by a lady that has like 1 million followers or whatever, and I was talking to her for a while. I found she makes content where she talks about don't play with these men, don't do this for these men. I find out she letting all type of stuff go behind the scenes. I find out she being a major super Pikmi behind the scenes. I was flabbergasted. Like I said, I don't even know, man. I just I don't know. So I really do feel like, it's a lot more is basically what I'm saying than what you think. But go ahead, super villain. You have something to say?
I do. I came off mic by accident, but I was going to say I know exactly how you feel. And first of all, I want to say pick-meism can be outside of romantic relationship. I think that's where a lot of women, when they do the calculation, they get confused. They're only thinking relationships. Like just putting men before women and children in any scenario is going to lead to pick-meism. You can do it in a mother-son relationship, sister, brother, uncle. You could do it at work. Like just doing that. So I need women to take that into consideration. I'll even say this: some of our rainbow or uh, community justice warriors, which I'm not going to name names, but a couple of them was over here in your live one time a while ago, and they were the main ones who tried to kick me and T off because we were labeled at the time T-phobic. Guess what? We were in a hallway in a live one night, and me and T have the recording. They were saying all types of H-phobic, T-phobic things. Even one of them said to man with identity crisis who claims to be a woman, how many tricks did you have to pull to get your gender affirming surgery? When I heard that, I said, oh no, she didn't. In my life, y'all know how I feel about the community. I have never spoken to a T person like that before in my life. and they got the nerve to be going around labeling people. I, Let me tell you something, Triggered. We got so much ammo, but because we don't disparage black women online, like that's me and T's thing, we purposely don't do that because it's
That's me
getting,
too. That's me
yeah,
too. I
because
very rarely do it unless I just feel like it's just like you playing with me. But I very rarely do it. I agree. Well, y'all probably do it less than me, but I do it occasionally because y'all know I made them videos about Janine, just a girl, and the other lady. But for the most part, I don't do it either unless you really getting crazy. But if I was to do it about every black woman I see, I would probably be the most hated here on TikTok because most of the time I just shut up and I don't even say nothing at all. And the women that you talking about, I know exactly who you talking about. I just blocked them.
okay.
I just blocked them all. I did. I blocked them all.
But you know what's crazy about that? My thing is like when I come up on here and y'all, if you do, I would love somebody to bring it up. Y'all ain't never gonna catch me in a lie or anything that I went back on unless I say myself, I go back on this or I admit to this. Y'all never gonna catch me do that because I'm not up here trying to run for president or do respectability politics. I say how I feel, and if people don't like it, they don't like it. If they do, they do. I'm telling my truth, right? I prefer to tell the truth, and those who like me for it like me, and those who don't like me, they get out my way. But a lot of these women are, I don't know, trying to be on a soapbox up here and trying to do the whole respectability politics and then living the most foul opposite lifestyle. It is unbelievable to me. And the part I can't stand is other people see it and they don't say nothing. Like if I say it, I'm gonna look like a hater because I already got the label this, that, and the third. Other people see it, so nobody gonna say nothing. Oh, we just gonna let them slide. Oh, okay. That's my thing. That's where I get annoyed. But you know, I'm gonna yield
Girl,
there.
I will tell you, it's two things. It was like one time I was doing a live and this person will constantly other themselves, like say, okay, I understand women go through this, but I never gone through this. It was a lady that was up here that mentioned essay that had happened to her. I never saw her on a live before. I haven't seen her on a live since. But she said that she had undergone essay and this other person told her first she was talking about how she like needed to have intercourse with men or whatever, that's all she needs from them. She don't need nothing else. And so then this other person said, "Hey, you know, normally when women act like that, they've normally been touched on or they've been, you know, essayed." And so the woman then says, "Yes, that happened to me." And then the other woman says, "Oh, yeah, that's never happened to me though. But I'm just saying." Now, she's done that multiple times where she said like, "Hey, you know, this is not even funny. Like, this ain't even funny. Like, I'm laughing because it's like mind boggling, but I want y'all to know that I take it very seriously. Um, she had did that again with somebody else. This was on another time. Somebody were talking about domestic violence and like the things that they had experienced. And I had mentioned some things that I had experienced too. And it was like a bunch of other women that had said the same thing too. And this person says, "Yeah, I ain't never had nothing like that happen to me. But yeah, because I don't play like that. I would never let nobody do that to me." And I'm like, what? Like, what? Is this the proper things that you're supposed to do? And I really do believe now I'm starting to see that like a lot of like TikTok is like grifting or trying to just say things that or saying one thing to build an audience, but once you get the audience that you want, you really plan to pivot from that and actually get the audience that you really want. I think that Princella is a perfect example of this, that you know she was already morphing into, you know, the man of her dreams all this time. You know what I'm saying? Because she started off very feminine and then gradually morphed into Mrs. Ninja. So now if you notice, she says all of these bad things about women and she goes in spaces with nothing but men and talks about how bad men are. I mean, how bad women are, and these men give her cookies and pats on the head. And I believe that's all she ever wanted was male validation. She just went a long way around to get it. But that's what she always was craving for, because I read her book for investigation purposes only. I did not read it because she had any type of insight. I read it for investigational purposes only. This is a woman that yearned to be treated properly by men, yearned to be in spaces where she could be looked at, as an equal and not disrespected. And this is the way that she was able to do it. To go around in a circle and tell men that everything that they said was correct. It's some sick, twisted, weird stuff. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, that she had going. But I definitely truly believe that that's what she is. And that's why, like, I'm be honest with y'all, like, I no longer really trust nobody online that say certain things, because I know that y'all, and I'm not saying trust me, okay? Don't trust me either, all right? Because I could be a secret Pikmi at the house and, you know what I'm saying, rubbing my husband's feet and cleaning up underneath his toenails while he knocks me between the washer and the dryer. That is not true, but it could be true. Like, don't trust me either. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying that me personally, because I know me, you know what I'm saying? I just know that I am so tired of trusting people or believing that they mean what they say and finding out that they not true. Like, it's not true. And I can't even tell you how many times. And if I was to expose, like I said, everybody that I see that in, y'all would be mad. And most of y'all would be shocked with what I'm saying. Because like I said, I blocked so many women. It's another woman I'm thinking of right now that was it was one man. This happened probably like maybe 8 months ago. It was a man that came up here. He wasn't even doing nothing. Now, you know me, I like to tear up the men and stuff like that. I have no problems with tearing up the men. But if the man not doing nothing and he hasn't said tearing up the men, but if the man not doing nothing and he hasn't said anything bad about black women, I don't see the purpose of just tearing the man up to tear him up if he haven't did nothing. Now, if he did something, y'all know that I'm gonna get at him. But if he haven't did nothing, this lady was tearing this man up on my panel. He had not did anything at all. She tore this man to pieces. He ended up leaving. But I didn't say anything to her about it because what do I look like protecting a man? Against a woman that comes on my panel a lot. I'm just not going to do it. Even if y'all are wrong, y'all still right, because what do I look like defending a man over y'all? Like, it's just not going to happen. So, anyway, I still thinking this lady is like, okay, I'm like, oh yeah, she really care about women. She don't play no games, so I'm just looking at it like that. I go and see this lady in a panel with Saw and them, like defending them, talking all of this inappropriate stuff, and she said that she was married. I was flabbergasted. I was so mad. I was like, I said, I'm about to DM this lady and tell her that I feel like, and then you know what I said? I said, let me just erase this. Let me not say nothing to her, because who am I? It's not my place to check this lady. I said, it's not my place. It's not my business. She can do what she want to do. Who am I to say anything to her? So I just deleted what I was about to, I erased what I was about to type, and then I just blocked her. And I made sure I went to all my little pages and blocked her on all my little pages, because I was like, bruh, no. And that's happened to me more than 10 times. More than 20 times, literally. But it is what it is. But let me go down here to Zora, and then I'll go back up at the top to all you guys if y'all want to speak.
Hey y'all.
Hey, how you doing?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
hey,
ma'am.
it's been a minute. How you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I, I'm okay. I think I got a bar. I don't know if you can hear me okay. I was about to answer your questions though.
Oh, no, I can hear you
PG is so
fine.
funny. Okay. Yo, what a question. Why are so many BM unalive BW and children? I think it's because they can, to be honest. That's my answer. And just based on what you're saying and my own experience, because the last conversation I had with you, I can't remember what it was about, but you had just had an experience with a BW and you were just like, what is this? And I'm like, girl, I could have told you, but BW would break your heart, really, literally. The programming is crazy. And I think because of that cultural numbness, be BLK men can get away with anything. And they take out their aggression and their issues with being dominated by other groups of men. Let's just call it patriarchy. They call it white supremacy on the people who looking to them to save them. That's why. Why BM so angry and aggressive towards BW? I really think, because I drilled this down some years ago, I really think it's because we birthed them into a system where their fathers didn't protect them from another group of men. And they're not men in the traditional sense of the word, patriarchal. And so they just feel that we've birthed them into having no buffer between being a eunuch, basically, a sub, a bottom, a cuckold, and other groups of men. They're not the same way that children blame the mother who stays than the man who leaves. It's the same why BM are so angry at Black women. How dare we give birth to them in a system where they can't fully exercise the power of other men? BM cheering when another BM public disrespects BWs and other groups of men too, not just BOK men. They get something out of it because it's our punishment. It's a joy that they get, and there's a word for that, and I can't remember what it is. When you take joy in other people's pain, because they can't. I mean, they can whip us, but our spirit doesn't die. I'm sorry, on a live. It's been a minute since I've been on TikTok on a panel, so I forgot these words. Our spirit doesn't unalive. So when someone else does it, it's like they're it's like a proxy. We're getting a lashing. Their mother is getting a lashing. Their sisters are getting a lashing for being way too much, for not being docile, right? Because even as they abuse us and unalive us, it's another type of pleasure to see somebody else doing their job for them. What do you think? And I didn't see the angry ginger man in the UK, but what do you think the causes of this are, and why does it affect way more BM than BW? I think it's because they're less than, to be honest, and by that I mean, like, I had a back and forth with ChatGPT because I was saying, like, let me list all these things, right? Biologically, timing, meaning the first person on this earth was a BOK woman, right? And then that Y is missing 1/4 of its quadrant, that would make it an X, that most of the disorders and diseases that a child inherits comes from that father. When most of the experiences that a mother experiences while she's pregnant, as far as sickness, comes from that father, right? Biologically and otherwise, literally structurally, they're less than. I'm not even talking about philosophically or what we should do, because they are. And because they are, the only place that they can feel any kind of sense of self is to make up a fantasy that they are actually something else, which is why I think that's what causes it. So instead of facing the less thanness, they're exporting it out onto other people. That's what I literally think it causes it. Like, they can't sit in, not only are they less than structurally just as males, literally, then society-wise, they've been put into a place, even though they outnumber the minority of the men who have dominated them, resource-wise and people-wise. So that's why, because they literally less than. I don't think there's any other answer than that. But finally, ChatGPT, I had to beat it up to tell me, like, stop going around it. I'm telling you what it is, and this is a scientific inquiry, ChatGPT. You don't get to tell me some kind of feel-good thing. Well, everybody should be equal, but they're not, though. They're literally not. And that's why. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. I appreciate you, Zora. I appreciate your perspective as well. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything to say about that. Like, I mean, I agree with mostly everything that y'all was saying. Like really. I like I said, I don't know. I don't know what the end game for any of this is, to be honest with you. I just would like, because we as Black women, we cannot, stop the behavior of men. We can't stop their behavior. We can't control their behavior, but we can control our own. And I do think that, I think it was PG 1908 that was talking about coddling. Or was that Calandra? I can't remember. But I do think that a part of, the situation of what we have is coddling. It is coddling. It is the Black mothers coddling their sons. And I said this in a video. It's about to come out, I think tomorrow or the next day or something. But I said the perfect example of a Black woman that has done that, where you can see the effects of it right in front of your eyes. You don't have to look at it through your family. You can look at it as a celebrity on a celebrity stage, is Ray J and Brandy. I don't know if anybody ever watched that like family reality show that they had, but Brandy constantly talked about how her mother did not really give her too much grace, too much love, but what her mother did was extremely parent her and tell her and require a lot out of her. There were no excuses that she let Brandy live in. However, anytime Ray J was up there, she was coddling him, defending him, protecting him, making excuses for him, babying him, all of that. And you can see in the way that Ray J behave right now, And the way Brandy act right now, you can tell the difference in the way their lives have turned out. Brandy don't really have no major scandals other than her getting pregnant, which is not even a scandal. And her mother, in my opinion, messed up her career by trying to make her hide it. Like she should have never hit it. She should have came out with it, and she could have did something better. But you see, she could have still moved on in her career. I think her mother messed that up. But look at Ray J out here buying escorts, buying, schmostitutes, and asking in clubs while he there with Trey Songz, talking about he got 5K on an escort and just looking like a creepy, dusty, dirty old man. Like that, I mean, y'all can see it right there. And that is the state of the Black community in a nutshell, is that the men are coddled, and that is why they turn out the way that they do. Because if anybody does have any belief system that there are any decent men in the world or decent Black men in the world, I will give y'all just my perspective. Y'all don't have to agree with me or not, completely is fine. But I would just say that the Black men that I personally have met in my life that I feel like were good Black men, quote unquote, good Black men, they were not coddled. They mamas held their feet to the fire. They mamas did not play no games with them. They mamas did not make no excuses. If something happened with somebody else, they wasn't there saying, "Oh, not my son. Oh no, that was that girl. That was it." Never. I never seen it. The men that I ever saw turn out right, they mamas didn't play no games. And I really do believe that if more Black women would adopt that type of mind state, our men would be better. Or if you want to say our men, I don't really like to use that. I'll just say the men in our community would be better. But there are so many Black women that don't do that. And that's why we're here. And people like to think that it's just the women, the poor Black women in the ghetto or whatever. It's not. It's all Black mothers that do this stuff, from the Black women that are well off or wealthy, to the middle class Black women, to the poor Black women. It's all of them that do that. But I do believe there's a small percentage of Black women that don't. And their sons are the ones that turn out okay. And I seen it in my own personal life. I seen this with my own eyes from Black men that I do know for sure. And the ones that turned out okay or good or aka whatever terms you want to use, they were not coddled. But anyway, I think Kalandra has something to say, so I'll just start back at the top. Go ahead, Kalandra, sis.
School teacher who teaches kids, and I done had parent meetings. When I tell you they mama's gonna make thousands of excuses for them, I should be like, I'm telling you, I definitely agree with you though, Trigger. Ray J and Brandy is a clear example of that, how he treated Princess, even when he threw her in that hot tub. Like, that is a prime example. Black men are coddled, and they're coddled with their mothers first. Like, for me, I would say I followed a lot of women who I thought were not Pikmis after that Halle DV Darryl situation, because how they were trying to call Halle a bitter baby mama. I'm sorry, but anytime I hear a woman use that, I think you're a Pikmi. I'm sorry, but because I don't think women be bitter as much as men just don't really care about their kids. I definitely think that is the problem. Black women coddle their sons. I think that's why most of them want sons, because you want your son to love you in a way that the trash men you were dating did not love you. I have a son, and I always say this: my son will never be out here acting like how some of y'all sons acting, and I'm sitting right there blaming another little young girl about my son. Like, the way my son's grandmother treated me, I would never treat a young lady like that. I already said, I'm teaching my son to be married. Don't be like me. But if he did have a child, he wasn't married, is no possible way I'm sitting up here telling this girl she a gold digger for expecting my son to take care of his responsibility. Even with Diddy's mom, I'm not going to your trial with women. No, I'm not going to be a part of it. You're not even going to have my number. But I think the problem with Black women is, and I know a lot of people might call this bitter baby mama, I think y'all need to start telling them kids the truth about their daddy. Tell them that their daddy wasn't about nothing. You was going through some things when you met him. Stop trying to protect his image, because what it's doing is making them believe that you're the reason why he left. And that's why I say, Black women, tell them kids how their daddy wasn't about nothing. Tell them the truth. Have a serious conversation with them. Start having them go through their life not knowing nothing. But tell them that their daddy didn't care and he was a loser on Wall Street.
bro. A loser on Wall Street.
I'm gonna have to use that. That was crazy. No, but I mean, I everything she said, Trigger, everything Calandra said was on point. I mean, and it's an age-old mindset, and I know this because I'm in the group of black women. Black women have this bad, horrible, self-defeating habit of thinking that they can love black men into good behavior. Black women have this sad, crazy, diabolical mindset thinking that if I show you love, you're gonna show me love. That only works for BLK women. If you show BLK women love, you will get a return on your investment. You cannot do that with BLK males. A lot of these black mothers think that, oh, he didn't have a father, so I'm going to show him all this unreal love. He has a society that's against him, so I'm going to show him all of this unreal love. You don't get a return on your investment with BLK males. You only get a return with BLK women. And black women are just going to have to accept that. You cannot love these males into good behavior. The only thing that works with BLK males is reward and consequence. If they don't have a consequence, we get what we have right now. That's why these MFs are out of control. They are arrogant and they are ignorant mixed with arrogant. And you basically get a nightmare. And that's what we're dealing with. We have to shut these creatures down by not dealing with them. And it won't hurt to get you licensed to have a pew pew. And that's all I'm gonna say for now.
All right, all right, all right, all right. I mean, I definitely agree. I definitely think that the arrogance, I totally agree with that. I think I said this before, like my first husband, like he really wasn't no good. And I remember one time, I was looking at him and he just had such an arrogant self, like inflated view of himself. And I was really just looking at him thinking like, why do you feel the way that you feel, that you are all that you are not, bro? You really ain't nothing at all. And I know that it came from his female family members, and that is a problem. He was an absolute menace, and he was definitely coddled. Everything that y'all saying, it definitely happened to him. He had such an elevated view of himself, and it was just like skin you in, but anyway, let me keep going. Go ahead, supervillain. If you have something to say,
Yes,
sis.
of course. I want to answer number 2 and 3, but I have to piggyback off Kalandra. I am team tell these nignogs the truth. In fact, I've been heard many times telling them that they're the reason that they daddy left. Like their mother and father were prom king and queen. A lot of y'all daddies loved y'all mama, absolutely breaking her back out every night, fine dining trips, all that. And then something happened. 9 months later, you came along. And you know what these dudes do? They pick better. And the better just was about abandoning you. That man had to make a tough choice between the apple of his eye and not raising a nignog, and he chose to not raise a nignog. And that's why he left. Your mama stayed. She should have did the better choice by leaving you in the foster home as well, just like your daddy abandoned you. But no, a lot of us, we decide to keep that kid for that kid to grow up and come on TikTok and absolutely hate his mom. This is what I say. A lot of them are miserable because they did the math. They realize that their pure existence is the reason why their daddy is not around. I feel bad too if I knew somebody who I loved, make believe, thought they was like the Cosby Dad on TV, absolutely couldn't stand my guts and left me to destitute, left me to suffer with my mom. And this is why I'm with Kalandra. Start telling them the truth because them daddies loved your mama. They left because you came 9 months later, unfortunately. I'm gonna say this. So I had to get that out, y'all, because they really be thinking they somebody. And sidebar, a lot of y'all dudes who don't have your father in your life, don't realize that if he was a degenerate enough to leave you, he probably would have been a degenerate in your life. Like a lot of them are convinced they would have had the Cosby lifestyle. And to be honest, a lot of y'all daddy was Freddy Krueger. So I just want to let y'all know, like, stop thinking you was gonna grow up as a Cosby kid, because you wasn't. For number two, why are black men so angry and aggressive towards black women, but docile with everyone else? This is something that absolutely grinds my gears. I say this all the time. Like, these men will go to a job where the white man underpays them for equal work. They'll use that money and shop in grocery stores with foreigners who follow them around the store all day long, right? They'll go get a service or to a restaurant where the people are talking hella shit about them in their native language, but got smoke for the women, the black women on TikTok who are barely just trying to get their story out in a safe space. That's who y'all got the smoke for. The black women who may talk in a loud or a higher octave than you're used to. You spend your whole day being disrespected, but the woman on TikTok who said something that had nothing to do with you is a woman. That's where you want to be big and bad and bold and exert your masculinity and or show your strength. I will never understand that. They do it because they know black women aren't protected, because they're the ones who are supposed to protect the demographic. And they don't do it. They do it because they know other black men aren't going to hold them accountable. They don't try that shit with Becky and Ming Lee, because they already know Ming Lee's man will kung fu fight, and you already know Becky's man has no problem with making them strange fruit. If you know what I mean. They do it because they know we're unprotected, because they're the ones not protecting us and causing us the harm. I want to say number three, black men cheering when another black man publicly disrespects black women, like that angry ginger man thing. So I am never going to try to explain or investigate degeneracy. This is a pathology a lot of them have had for a long time. My thing is, why do we still participate in these podcasts? You couldn't pay me to get on there and do a fake interview. Why are we still participating in these podcasts? I like to tell black women it's almost like the Montgomery bus boycott, right? When we boycotted the buses, they need our participation to run. When you participate, they have the material. Stop participating. It's not like back in the day when you need to take the bus to get to work. You could just simply start your own podcast or go to another person's podcast. Why do y'all entertain these man podcasts? Why do y'all give them material and then be surprised when they disrespect you like they loved you in the first place? I'm not going to get that math. Black women, stop doing that. I'm going to yield there.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely get what you're saying with as far as that, because it's like you also are putting yourself at risk. Because I did see another. This was also in the UK where this black girl was having this debate with this black man, and he kept putting his fingers in her face, and she was like, "Get your fingers out my face," and he was like, "I'll smack you up. I'll smack you up," and he was being like really aggressive towards her. And the last time he acted like he really was about to smack her, and one of the dudes like stood in between him and told him to calm down or whatever. And then the dude left, but then he kept, even after he had left, he still kept putting his fingers in her face or whatever. And I just feel like, yeah, like I don't think, especially going in person, is the way to go. Now, I feel like maybe if you wanted to have a debate, like, and like eviscerate the men, maybe y'all could do it virtually with somebody that was going to be like very aggressive with like protecting, making sure that they don't, you know what I'm saying, like disrespect verbally. But I definitely agree. I definitely don't think that going in person, especially with black men that hold these type of views, is smart nowadays. Because what if he just turned around and started like pew pewing up the place, or he pew pewed the ladies, or he really harmed the ladies? Then what? I just think that yeah, that's a scary thing, and that's something that But I understand black women want to be heard, and I understand that too. That you want to be heard, you want to tell these suckers like how stupid they are, but at what point do maybe we might need to like say, this might be the risk might be more than the reward. What is it? Yeah. the reward might not be worth the risk or whatever that is. Y'all know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, so I definitely see where you're coming from, because I have seen a lot of crazy stuff going on. I even seen this video, and the last time I tried to post something like physical on YouTube, I got like a flag. So I don't post things like violent on my page anymore. But there was a video, I don't know if you guys saw it. It's pretty old though, but I was new to me. This black girl was inside, it looks like a bodega or whatever. And she was with another girl, and this black man was trying to talk to her, and she was telling him to get out of her face and leave her alone. And he smacked the taste out this girl's mouth. I'm talking about he smacked this girl so hard. She looked at him like, I can't believe that you smacked me like that, because I don't want to talk to you. And he was like, can I smack you again? And won't nobody do nothing. And, he flinched at her, and, she was scared, and it was just like, that type of aggression that I see coming from a lot of black men is really crazy to me. But that's exactly why I really do feel like if you're like a black woman and you can't arm yourself, you're in a place where you can have a pew pew, you should have it. Because me personally, you play with me like that, and you are getting a first class ticket to the morgue. You are no longer going to be here on planet Earth. And it's just really that simple. I have no problem with pulling it on you and using it. Like, I just haven't been in those type of situations yet. And I'm glad that I haven't, because I don't leave home without it. You know what I'm saying? And even when I go on like walks and stuff, because I go on walks every day, always still make sure I have it on me, because, and I live in a very nice neighborhood, and I still make sure that I have it on me, because play if you want to, get in my face if you want to, act like you gonna hurt me if you want to, because it's gonna be the last thing that you do. Let me block this man in here, and you, let me just block you. Get out of here. But yeah, I think that that's something very important that women should do, because these men are very unhinged. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's but it would be different. I don't know. Y'all can tell me if y'all think that this is crazy. But I would respect black men more if they didn't just have because it's not like there aren't black men that unalive each other too. You know what I'm saying? Like, because if people didn't know, men unalive other men more than they unalive women statistically, I would not feel, this probably gonna sound crazy, but I wouldn't feel as poorly as I do about black men if they kept up their aggression towards everybody. As opposed to normally, number one, the first line is a black woman, and then the second is each other. But when it comes to them white tea people, they silent. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't doing nothing. They ain't moving nothing. Somebody go in the hood, some police officers, and go beat the brakes off somebody, or go have like that video I saw, that doggone police dog chewing on that black man. You know what I'm saying? And nobody do nothing. But y'all can get in a black woman's face and talk about you gonna knock her teeth out because you don't like what she said. Like, what? That's what I don't understand. I don't understand how you can be so aggressive to the people in your community and you be quick to do something to them, but these others, y'all don't do nothing. Like all them black men that are disappearing, that's like semi truck drivers, that they either strange fruiting them, or they just out and out disappearing, or they're being found like a couple weeks later unalive. Ain't no people over there trying to take out these white tea people, or do anything, or even just inquire and find out what's going on. You know what I'm saying? All they doing is hooting and hollering and crying. But they got way more smoke for black women and weaves and wigs and obesity and single motherhood. That's what I don't understand. I'm not saying anybody should hurt anybody, but I notice the energy not the same. But go ahead, Zora. Sorry, I've been talking too long. Go ahead, Zora.
And it's not the same. That's why they're cowards. They go to where the fight isn't an actual fight. It's just they're guaranteed in their minds to win. So they're taking aggression that they're experiencing in other places and putting that on women and children. That's how that go. And that's the reason they're at the bottom. By the way, in my opinion, the way I look at it, they're at the bottom because they don't have that energy towards men that don't look like them. It's not that they were put at the bottom and then they became cowards. They're at the bottom because they are cowards. And I'm talking about going to the history of it. Like, wow. Um, the last Moorish king, I can't remember his name right now, but he was the because they always like to talk about the Moors, the Moors, the Moors. Yeah, that last Moorish king gave over the kingdom. And his mother told him when he was walking away, he was crying, like, whatever. After the nun fight, he just literally conceded without an actual fight. To, I think, the Queen and the King of England, I think, at the time. And his mother said, "Do not weep like a woman what you couldn't defend like a man." That's a quote. They've always been this way. That's the 1400s. That's what she said to him. Like, they've always been like that. And then the other part I wanted to talk about is the good black man. And I hear you. I do hear what you're saying. What I found too, though, Triggered, is that the women who don't play with their sons, a large portion of those sons also HATE them, don't like them. Portion of those sons also HATE them, don't like them. So there's a gamble you take. Like, it's not that BOK women can really do anything to kind of fight the cultural norms or the biology of these males. There may be just exceptions, but there are women who hold their sons' feet to the fire or do not coddle them, and those sons are on the internet talking about how their mother was too aggressive with them, how their mother didn't do enough loving of them. Like, it's the same. So I do think BOK women often do the opposite, right? They do coddle, and we know that because there's a whole saying that you love your sons and you raise your daughters. That's abuse, but that's what I heard growing up. The other piece is, if there were good BOK men, and I'm not saying individuals can't do great things, right? I'm saying, why haven't they collectively come together to put a buffer between us and the collective of the ones who aren't? That's my definition of good BOK man. Because it can't just be the BOK is important. If you take out the BOK, then it's just a good man. I know some good men who happen to be BOK. That's different than saying a good BOK man, because a good BOK man, there's a different expectation because you're putting BOK in there, which means there's an expectation that you have no expectations. So anything he does that's just regular within societal norms becomes a good BOK man. For me, I want to flip that and say, okay, so if you're more than just a good man, right, to an individual group of people who you decided to be good to, then what you would do is create a system that we can point to, like YT women can point to. Other than that, there's no reason to put BOK in between that because it means nothing. That's it. That's my thoughts on that. But that's,
You know what, Zora?
that's years of watching.
I definitely agree with you. I think that you made some good points there. And I will say, I agree wholeheartedly. I will tell you, I just was thinking about something along that line today. Because okay, I saw this video on TikTok, right? And it was like these three black men, and they were standing there, and then their girls pushed them out of the way, and all of their girls showed their rings or whatever. And so they were, three fiancés or whatever. And so I only saw that video from another video. So the first video was a black man commenting underneath that video, and he said, black men and their wig wearers. Even though it didn't look like any of the women had on wigs, but even if they did, you know what I'm saying? It would have mattered. But my thing is, what I was thinking is that when I was looking at the comments, the majority of the comments were black women that were up in arms and tearing this man up. I didn't really see that many men saying anything, if at all. And so my thoughts it's like, why are there's three black men in this video, y'all are about to marry these women, y'all clearly care for these women, but why aren't the men that are considered to be good men or whatever, why are y'all not so more vocal against these other men that are acting up and acting crazy? And I was thinking, like, okay, is it a situation like, how, I don't know if anybody's ever taken like any type of like public advertising courses or filler courses when you was in college, because I took a couple advertising courses just for filler. And they were saying that like people are more than likely they will easily make a review when they don't like something. They'll be like, hey, I
Mm.
don't like this, and they'll tell people and they'll do all of this. But if they're happy about something, they don't say nothing. They just
Oop.
enjoy it and keep it moving. So I was wondering if the reason why some of these men that may be in good relationships with black women, or they may be treating these women decently or good or whatever words, like I said, because I can't call nobody that I don't know personally good. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is call somebody that I intimately know good. But so I just say these men seem to be decent men, right? Why wouldn't they be saying something? That is it because they don't feel the need to, because they're just enjoying their life? But even if they are just doing that, I feel like that's still bad in itself, because you
Yeah.
still should be looking at and say, hey, it's not just about me and my lady or me and my family. All these black women out here are being mistreated and being, so I need to stand up as a man. So I think that maybe, I don't know how you could get those black men that may
I'm gonna
be
tell
all right
you.
to do it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
You
gonna tell
get
you
me,
what this.
Zora?
What? Yeah, I do. I'm gonna tell you what this BOK man told me. He quote, he was considered a good BOK man on this platform that I was on, because I would hold these case studies and ask these questions. And out of all the answers, this one stuck out to me. He said, "You know why we don't do anything?" And I said, "Why?" He said, "Because." And it's in the realm of your PR conversation, your advertising conversation, but he switched it up. He said, because if we do, then the bar gets raised higher to us, and then we don't meet it. We become like them being so deplorable makes our basicness, as Faina put in the chat, like extreme by comparison. So we come out the frame when they're doing their bad behavior, because if we're in the frame, then by comparison, what we're doing means nothing. So we don't check them, because to check them is to raise the bar to a standard that then we would have to actually do some real work and not be basic to be okay, man. That's what he said. And everybody agreed with him. All the men agreed with him. These were rooms of thousands of people, and they all agreed. And I was like, oh, okay, got it. That was years ago. That never left my head. It was like, okay, yeah, because to check the BOK men who are behaving overtly like that, because that's so dehumanizing. It's crazy. Would mean that them being married is not enough. Because at the end of the day, I had a conversation with a friend around sex workers, and how, like, ones who are public just should be shamed. Basically, it was a crazy conversation, but it was interesting in the sense that I was just like, whatever a person does or doesn't when it comes to a woman, generally speaking, men by definition are extractive. Just their structures is extractive, right? They don't get here unless we bring them here. So they're already extracting through that way. BOK men are even more so. So if they get a wife, in this case, 3 fiancés, they already have an agenda in their head. They know what she's useful for. They're not going into it like, let's find out what each other's, what I'm saying, how we can benefit each other. They know already how she can benefit him, and they have categories. So they've already made her a servant, whether she's their partners or not. So why would they check somebody else?
Is Zora breaking up, you guys? Do y'all hear Zora? Is she breaking up?
I don't hear her.
Yeah, I thought she was breaking up, because I was really listening. uh I think she said she had you there, Zora? Yeah, I still can't hear you, Zora. Dang.
Drop and come back. You might have to fix your audio.
It's always something.
We can hear
I
you.
hear you now, Zora.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Dang, we lost you again.
Y'all live in a forest. I had to come to another part of the house. Y'all can hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Hello?
I can hear you now.
Okay. What part was dang?
I can hear you, Zora.
Dang. Okay, so I can't remember. Okay, I don't know what part you didn't hear, but I'll start at this part where the man. Did you hear what I said? The man said to me about why they don't check other
Look
Yeah,
at
he
the
said
the
because it will
bad.
raise the bar.
Yep, and then by definition, he would look worse. Like the good black men would look worse because the bar would be raised, so they would be basic. So they just leave it intact because by comparison, they're much better than the one who's calling you a wig wearer. Right. So and they all agree. The BLK men agreed with him. So there was that. But then I went to the fact why when the husbands, because I don't even think the fiancés would check them, or they would check them in a very docile way. I've seen when BLK men do quote unquote check BLK men, they do it in a way where they don't feel like violence will come back to them. So they don't do it with the fervency that BLK women were in that chat that you're describing, checking the man who said it. That's why the man felt okay to say it, right? To say BLK males and wig wearers, like to completely dehumanize, because they know that even the check is gonna be trying to be like, hey bro, maybe you shouldn't say that. Like they know it's always some kind of, you know what I'm saying, neutered male response. And I think that part is because to get like that book that they like to reference, that Bible, to say to get a good wife is a good thing. It doesn't say anyone want no good husband, right? So they already have an agenda, even when they're the good guy, meaning the three who are engaged to those women, who are engaged to those women, whether they have a genuine relationship or not, they've already, because their men have assessed her value and what he brings to her, because that's who they are, extractive by nature, literally by nature, because how they're born, right? They're not generative, they don't give birth, so they're already extracting just to be here. So they've already identified what she means to them. Oh, this is going to be somebody who extends my, in their head, legacy. They don't know what that word means, right? This is somebody who I know is going to support me with my program in the world. This is somebody, whatever it is, they've already identified it. So there's no need to then, quote unquote, protect that thing, because the protection is the fact that they've already validated her to be a fiance, because BLK women overly value that. That's why. That's my opinion of that. And they are cowardly.
All right. Well, I tell you what, having these conversations and actually, listening to all of you guys' different perspectives, it just is an indicator of why I truly believe that. I don't know if you guys saw this updated picture of the globe, that the birth rate is not at repopulation level. The only place it is in Africa, but everywhere else across the continent, it's not. And I really do or across the globe, excuse me, is not. And I really do believe that all of this, everything that's going on with men, and of course we're all Black women up here, so excuse me, we always normally talk about this from the lens of Black people, Black men, and Black women. But we know that a lot of these same things are going on in like Asia, you know what I'm saying, Europe and everywhere else, to be honest with you. So something is going on, you know what I'm saying? Now, me personally, I think it's a spiritual thing. I think something's going on, but I do believe from what I've seen that the majority of, well, see, Faina, my opinion with Africa's birth rate is not dropping. I think in a lot of places in Africa, women don't have a lot of rights. Men strong arm women. There's a very high rape rate in many countries in Africa. So I couldn't necessarily put that their birth rate being high necessarily just on the women, because they don't have the choices that a lot of us do. Yeah, so I'm not going to say that to them. Like I actually watched this documentary on YouTube. It was this Black woman. Dang, I forgot where she was. I want to say Cameroon, but I'm not quite for sure though. She had like 20 kids, and her husband abandoned her, and she was trying to make a way through. And she was talking about how she had been preyed on when she was like really young, like her first child she had, like, I forgot now, but it was like, it was not an age where you should be having anything with anyone. So I don't know. I can't necessarily say that about Africa, because like I said, it's a lot of women there that don't have autonomy. and things like that. And I think also, like when people throw religion in, I understand that people use religion to oppress women, to dominate women, to do things, but I do think a lot of it is also men in general, because even men that aren't religious can are also oppressive and disgusting. So I don't know. I just can tell from the way the birth rate is looking that women is getting tired of all races and all demographics. I didn't see all the white tea women complaining. You know what I'm saying about the white tea men, all of the Asians complaining about the Asian men and saying that they, don't want nothing to do with them. And so much so that like one guy, I want to say he was in Korea maybe. I He said something about forcing women like to have babies by like 25 or something, and if the women are not willing to do it, then they would force them to get a hysterectomy. And so then women started going crazy over there, and then he went and apologized for what he said. So I mean, I just know that it's going on everywhere. Like, and I make it my business to look at other races and demographics and ethnicities and nationalities and people to know. And it's bad everywhere. But I do believe that we as black people, it's different for us because I do believe that our men are extremely duplicitous and disloyal and self-hating. And I think that the level of what they have going on, it's not that it's more bad than anybody else, but it's definitely more embarrassing and sick. So I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know, man. It's definitely a unique sickness that black men have, even when compared to these other races of men that are just as bad. But black men's sickness is even worse, in my opinion, to us because we don't have anyone that's willing to step if something goes on. If that makes sense, y'all. But anyway, I like hearing all of you guys' perspectives. I do. So, but let me shut up. Let me go up here to supervillain.
Yeah, and just a real quick sidebar. I was actually on another live and we were talking about what would it look like in America if we let black men quote unquote lead. And you don't really have to use your imagination. Again, there are plenty of countries in Africa. You can pick one where the men are the leaders. They're the majority, right? They have the power and control. I forgot what country it is right now where the women are eating animal feed. They're feeding their children with animal feed because there are no men to protect and to provide in a country where black men are the majority and run the government. Yes, there's colonialism, but these men are literally in charge. The problem here in America is that they claim that they're not in charge or we're not the majority. Well, look to the countries where they are the majority and in charge. It doesn't fare well. Again, the women are providing their children with animal feed. They're literally going to the farms and stealing the feed out of the containers where they feed their animals to survive. I told you at one point there are countries where they're making dirt pies. They're literally making mud and baking them to eat. These are the countries where black men are the leaders and the providers. I just want to just give that quick caveat. It's a very scary thing. It's unfortunate these things are happening, especially in, what did you say? That woman was abandoned after having 20 children. My thing is, right, because we already know the laws and the autonomy over there for women are limited. You can't get prosecuted for marital rape in a lot of instances. Why would a man knock you up 20 times to leave you when he can't feed a family of, excuse me, sorry. Just think about their, again, this is why I said they're degenerate. A lot of them cannot afford a family of 4, but will knock you up with 20 children and leave you. Um, I want better for women. I don't even know what to say after that. Yo.
All right, all right, all right. I got you. I got you. Kalandra, did you have anything to say?
I did. I said, when it comes to talking about the birth rate, I'm a single parent, and I say this all the time. I got on the panel when I said this, and I got dragged for. They all dragged me. I think the reason why a lot of women are not having kids is because I'm gonna say I think the only way to avoid single motherhood is by not having kids. I'm sorry, and I would say probably 4 out of 10 men actually want to be fathers. I think that a lot of these men who are talking about this stuff with deletions, I think because they're intentionally having babies with women to trap them. Now, yes, women, we do play a part in that, but I think most of the time when we're looking at, I don't think men actually want to be parents. And when you have Pikmis who say things like, well, women keep their children from their fathers. I don't believe that. I think men just don't care about their kids for real. That's what I think. And I think they find women that have third grade reading levels and they believe that's that rhetoric, that dangerous rhetoric. I don't believe that. And I think in this economy, why would you take that chance of putting your life on the line for a man that could care less? I mean, like you said, you look at him. He hit the 20-month-old child. Look. Why would you have a baby with somebody like that? These men are dangerous. They need to be in psychiatric wards. They don't care about their kids because, Trigger, the amount of lives that I see talking about child support. I remember one time me and my dad had a conversation. My mom has passed on, and my dad paid my mom $312 a month. And I literally told my dad, "There's no way possible you were complaining about that. That's not even 2 weeks of daycare for my son." And the fact that your average men pay $250 a month in child support, and you think your $250 is doing something, and then when you're hearing these conversations about women just want to be gold diggers, you don't have money to go. You have to have money for somebody to gold dig you, man. Most of y'all don't even have money like that. And most of y'all who are paying child support, you definitely not paying that much money. And like I said, these men don't care about their kids. And the reason why they keep saying all that stuff about deletions is because they're having babies with women to trap them. And women are waking up and saying, you know what? I don't want that to be my life. So I don't blame them because most of these men do not care about their kids at all. They only care about their kids when they have some type of access to the mother.
I definitely agree with you. Let me go down here to T and then Chilotam. And how you ladies doing?
Hey, I'm good. Thank you, ladies. I can't speak for long because I have my niece here. And what do I got to do?
I need you to get off of the Family Guy's teeth and you to help me look for bugs.
Yeah, see, I need to help her look for bugs. So I'm going to say one thing real quick. I'm going to say one thing real quick. That I just find it very, appalling. I don't know if y'all heard of the dude that unalived the woman on a public bus. Did y'all hear about that?
Yes, I just saw that.
Isn't
Oh
that
my goodness.
isn't that insane? And top it off, he is 14 times convicted of committing that same type of crime, assaulting women. Now, I'm starting to believe, as much as BMs be saying how the justice system is flawed. Oh, we do something, we get thrown under the jail. There is no way, if the system is so racist and so flawed as y'all claim it is, a man that had been convicted 14 times is able to walk the streets. And this is a BM. This is a BOK man, not a woman, a man running around. He has a rap sheet 14 times.
They showed 9 of his mugshots. 9 of
Oh,
them.
I just saw 14.
Which one are y'all talking about? I couldn't hear the first thing that you said, T. What did he do though?
He unalived the woman, a white tea woman on a bus. She
Oh
escaped from
yeah.
Ukraine. Yeah, she escaped the war from Ukraine. Hold on, baby, just wait for me in the living room. And he was on the bus, looked like he was talking to himself, going through whatever that was going on, and he just out of nowhere, you saw him on a video take out his pokey, and then just out of nowhere and just unalive her for no reason. And this is the type of men that's walking in the streets amongst us and our children. He been arrested 14 times. I'm sorry if I'm sound like I'm crashing out, whatever, but this is what I like. I don't believe no more that there's such thing as a gracious justice system. I really don't, because how can a man, if it was so racist as they claim that it is, there is no way that he convicted one time. He should have been walking outside the jail. Should be walking around just free and nilly. And the average BM is an EDP. If any don't know what an EDP is, an emotional disturbed person. They are walking around the streets of New York and in busy cities and the public transportation as if they are regular busy cities and the public transportation as if they are regular people, and they got rap sheets up the yin yang. This is insanity to me. This is crazy. Like seriously, it's literally not safe. And then you would think that I'm trying to feel better. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, that's really triggering. I scroll and literally just a video down, some BM again, just walking in the street, just another EDP, another man talking with spiders in his head or something like that. He punches a little girl, a little black girl in the face.
That happened in New York, I believe.
See,
New York.
exactly. He punched a little girl in the
Like,
face.
if you saw that, that shit will make you cry. It's
Yeah, that got me mad. That really got me heated because, like, let's just say I don't want that to ever happen. But let's just say if that was to happen to like my niece, because I don't have a daughter, or even my son, I'm walking down the street. He's not walking away unless I'm breaking a few limbs. I'm sorry, I'm not. They will put me in jail. I promise you that. And these are the type of men walking around us, and they on this app talking about marriage coming together, when the average BM man is an EDP. With a BM is an EDP. Y'all not even diagnosed. Y'all running around. Listen, calm down. This is the type of stuff that, like, this is why when we say, and just like that leprechaun EDP y'all mentioned on number 3, that EDP right there, he just came out of jail doing 11-year bin. How is black woman your damn enemy? You just came from taking showers with other grown men. You just came from prison. You've been around men for the last 11 years, for a decade, and added another year. But yet black women you got beef with us? We wasn't even there. For the past decade, you've been around nothing but a bunch of men showering butt naked in the shower. And the first thing you do is when you come out is have beef with us? He's like, that's like I said, another a toothless leprechaun EDP that hate black women for
What's
no reason.
EDP, T?
Huh?
What's EDP, T?
An emotionally disturbed person.
Okay.
So anytime you ever hear me say EDP, that's what it means. It says emotionally disturbed person. So, like, the fact that the audacity of that leprechaun, how you light skinned and you still look ashy, that's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. But let me stop saying that kind of stuff. Let me get up on here. I gotta look for bugs. Maybe I'll find him. Ladies, please try to have a
Oh, you're kind of funny.
I knew when I come across y'all spirit was gonna make me feel better, because that just really like it really did got me angry, got my blood heated. And I'm sorry, they wouldn't want me to run a country. They wouldn't want me to run the United States. They really wouldn't. But any cahoots. So please, ladies, I just really came up on here. There's 29 of us up in here. Please tap the screen, share the live. I don't know how long you're gonna stay long, Trigger, but please, ladies, stay safe out here. Please carry whatever you gotta carry, rather it's legal or illegal. I won't say anything. So just keep yourself safe. I'd rather put money on your books that you did something in self-defense than to visit your funeral. That's all I'm going to say, ladies. Thank you, Trigger, for letting me
Wait a
vent.
minute, T. What do we always say? These aren't the dudes that they will line up. These are the men that cause treason in the black
Oh
community.
yeah, this tree. That's why I said they wouldn't want me to run for be
Treason.
president. If I was president running this country or any other country, it is absolute treasonous to unalive or hurt a black woman and definitely a black child. You wouldn't want to know the punishments of that. And any pick me that wanna sit there and rally up some type of humanitarian bull crap march and say, hey, the prisoners have rights. You about to go in there with them, straight up. So okay, so thank you ladies for letting me vent. Thank you so much. I'm sorry for even venting, doing like that, having a total crash out. It just really, really, really got me angry. And when I read the prompt and about that ashy leprechaun, like another one. It's like one EDP after another, after another, after another, and they all black men. It's really, really getting more crazy out here. And they talking about why we wouldn't be scared about having choose between a bear and them. Can you imagine living in a world, a place where there's no policing, no government, no punishment, no prison, no nothing? Yes, it's gonna be scary. We're not safe in the streets when we have police. When we have technology, we got lights, and we still getting attacked. What's gonna happen if we're in the woods with no lights? Seriously?
Africa's gonna happen.
So yeah. Listen. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm gonna drop. Have a good one, ladies.
All right, thanks so much for coming up, T. I really appreciate you, and I definitely understand why you feel the way that you feel. Like I felt the same way. I don't know if anybody I mentioned it earlier, but if y'all saw the black man, he has like a whole long, lengthy rap sheet for like violence against family and domestic violence and all of this other stuff. And he unalived his sister and his nephew was like 11 or 12. He unalived the both of them. I saw the like arraignment on TikTok. I forgot his name though. But I saw TikTok. I forgot his name though. But I saw the arraignment on TikTok. It was he just was sitting there the way he was looking like he did not care. He was looking like he was being arraigned for some traffic tickets. That's how disinterested he seemed. And he wasn't framed or anything like that. They got his clothing, which was covered in their blood. And they got him on security cam as well. So he did it. He definitely did it.
The motive,
I
Trig.
have a question. Was his mother there?
I when that the little clip I saw, they only showed him and like the judge and like the lawyers and stuff. I didn't see anybody in the
Okay.
like the audience or whatever. But yeah, it was shocking to me. And what did you
I
ask a
think it was
question?
a holiday. She
I was
asked
asking
what
what
the
was the
motive was. Was
motive.
that?
Oh, they said
Did
that
they
they
say
didn't even know if there was any motive because him and his sister didn't even really talk all like that, if I'm not mistaken. So it was like for what?
Dang.
And
Was he
and
living? Because it's two different cases. Was he
he
living with them? Do
wasn't
you
living.
remember?
No, he was not. He had a baby mama
Oh,
he
he
was
went
living
over
with.
there. Okay.
Yes, he went over there and he actually slit their I don't know how to their throats. I don't know how to say that TikTok friendly, but that's what he did to both of them. The little boy and his sister. His sister and his nephew, that's what he did to them and left them unalived in her home.
Sure. I
And I
would just say
promise.
real quick that type of unaliving, that's personal. That's how I was asking if it was a motive because to do that, that's like a personal type of act.
Yeah, I'll try to look into it further and see if now they came out with some more things because it like had just happened. So maybe that's why like when I was reading the comments, nobody really said anything, but they did read off his rap sheet as to why they weren't going to give him any bond. And his rap sheet was very lengthy. And they said that he would be a danger to the community, a flight risk, and everything else, and that he could not have no bond at all. Like, but yeah, and I promise you, he sat there with them dead eyes. Like he just like they was just telling him what his order was finna be at Burger King or something. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. And like I said, he definitely did it. Like it's not no if and buts about it. Like I said, they already mentioned they had video evidence and his clothes were covered, you know, with their blood. And they said that like he had went back home or something, like with where he was at, and he was naked. He had even took them clothes off, and they were talking about all of that. It was just like I said, it was just shocking. I just don't understand how you could do anything like that. But honestly, I really do believe that this is the part in, like, even the fact that he even knew where she was at. I think that more women that have black men in their families, you got to stop letting these men come around, like, and know where you stand or anything. You have to treat them just like an op or just like a stranger, because that's exactly how they're treating their families. But anyway, um, yeah, Zora, did you interject and say anything? I couldn't.
I'm away because I know Chilotem, I think, is just came up, if that's the way to say your name. I'll wait because y'all got me thinking several points. But the only thing I want to say about that part is that I think it happens so often that was the matricide rate and the baby mama rate is so high now, it's skyrocketed. But there's another case that's very similar where the brother goes over to his sister's house, unalives her and somebody else, and then sleeps on a sofa. Goes to sleep after he unalives everybody in the house. That's
Oh,
why it's like I'm like, was that the case? It's so crazy that we can't even distinguish the cases anymore of how often it happens.
yeah, that's wild too, man. Ugh. Let me go down here to Chilotam. Go ahead, sis.
Good. Hi, everyone in the chat and on the panel. Um, this topic really weighs heavy on my spirit, especially with the whole femicide thing, because I know when I joined, because I had joined early and then I left and I joined again. You guys were talking about the way African women don't have any or have like less autonomy or less rights than American women, and I completely agree. The femicide rates, I think between now and January, the ones that are reported in Nigeria, I think it's about 100 and no, actually it might be this month. I don't know, but I saw a figure, it was 140 women. That's 140 women. And there's one that just happened 2 or 3 days ago where this lady was in a DV situation with this dude. Mind you, they had broken up for 2 years. Okay, so they broke up in 2023, and his first attempt to unalive her was to go to her house and okay, so in Nigeria we have these things in the kitchen, right? Like out here in America we have a stove and all that, but he basically went to leak a gas pipe, because a gas pipe is kind of what we connect to the cooker and we use like actual fire to cook, right? I don't know how to explain. My words are failing me. I don't know how to explain it, but he tried to leak the,
When you
yeah, he tried to leak that. Like he cut it off in her house so that that would kill her, and it didn't work. And then, mind you, she lives in a secure estate. Okay, so this is not like she doesn't have security around. She lives in a secure estate where you can't even get in until the security guards can ascertain who you are. But he jumped the fence. This is according to what people are saying, because he's been apprehended now. He jumped the fence and went into her house and, stabbed her to death. And it's just what I think what even hurts me the most is that she did, when these things happen, people will be like, oh, you need to leave. If somebody puts his hands on you, you need to leave. She left and he took her life 2 years after. And he told her if he can't have her, no one will. So, when we talk about I don't know, it makes me even so emotional. Because it has really dawned on me that these people don't see us as people, like they don't see us as human beings. Um, a couple of other things on the prompt I wanted to talk about. A trig, I think trig is paused, so I can't really see it. But yeah, I think I saw something along the lines of BMs being in competition with BWs and not having that same energy for other groups. I 100% agree, especially as a Nigerian girl. Um, the country I come from, I mean, I live in America now, but I know where I'm coming from. The country I come from is very, very colorist and very like, when people say BMs in America are buck broken, I don't know if there is any level below buck broken, but that's what I would consider many Nigerian men in terms of how they look at race, you know. You have people who will tell you, oh, it's better for you to marry a white person than for you to bring someone from another tribe, I mean like another ethnic group within Nigeria into the house. They'll actually tell you it's better for you to get married to a whitey person. So there is like astronomical levels of racial, like low racial, how do you say that? Esteem. Yeah. Trade, please, can you put some of the prompts back on the big screen? I can't see.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. I just wanted to say real quick, you guys, the person that's on this picture is the guy that I was just talking about that unalived his sister and nephew. And Zora is actually right. This is the same case. What they said is that he actually laid naked on his sister's couch. They said for like 15 minutes after he unalived them. I don't, in one article it said 15 minutes. Now I'm not quite for sure if they, how they know the 15 minutes, but that is him. So like when you look and you see like his face, like he also decided to go mute and not say anything. So they said that he had wrote out a list or whatever about like trying to get a passport and stuff. He was trying to get out of the country or whatever the case may be. But yeah, Zora, this is the same one. Yeah.
Okay. You know, he said he came up with an excuse talking about the voices told him to do it or something. Meanwhile, he's, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he had a history of, I don't know. It just sounded like an excuse to me.
Yeah, I think it's an excuse too, for sure. Because the voices told you to do that, but now you got a whole lot of clarity when you talking about you trying to get a passport and all of this other stuff, which is disgusting. And you guys, I'm hitting right now. I'm at 2 hours and 18 minutes. So I'm gonna get off this live here soon. But I'm gonna let Chilotam finish what she has to say. And also Miss Simply Carmel. And then I'll let all of you guys speak again before I get up out of here. But go ahead, Chilotam.
Yeah, thank you. So I saw the video of the I don't even know what to call him. He looked mixed. He had red hair, the dude from the UK. Legit crashing out because and he said something that was so disturbing. He was like, "Oh, black women don't know their place." And you know when you hear rhetoric like that, it just really dawns on you that they see us, and I don't mean to laugh like it's funny, but they see us as second class citizens. He was telling the lady, "Oh, where's your hair?" Um, mind you, he's balding. He's balding from the middle of his head. So like and again, I have my reservations, you know, around wigs and all that, especially for African women, right? But I'm not going to I don't see most times when wear wigs and all that stuff like for protective styles, and a lot of times when they take off those wigs, you actually see a full head of hair. But that's another whole conversation. But it's just like, how are you projecting what you're going through on someone else, asking her where's her hair? Where's your hair? It's just I can't. And I think the causes, as far as I'm concerned, is just the rise in the red pill rhetoric, um and men like seeing that, okay, women are actually waking up to their BS, because back then we didn't have the social media platforms to call these things out. And even in many African countries they still don't, like they're still very very male centered. When I have conversations with my cousins are in their 30s. Okay, these are not old people. I'm only 26. My cousin, I think the cousin I was talking about is he's about 10 years older than me. So we're not that, and I grew up with all of them. So we're not that far off in age. Okay, they're exposed to the internet and they still think like this. Now you can imagine if someone in their 30s is this backwards, and I hate to say that about my cousin, but I usually say it to his face. You can imagine what the vast majority of people who are not exposed are like. So I try to do my best to, you know, kind of reel people out of that brainwashing of male worship or black male worship in general. Because even when you talk about, okay, I'm not rushing into marriage, because they're always talking to me about marriage. I keep telling them I'm not rushing anywhere. I'm not rushing to have children. I think these are very huge decisions you should consider. and they start giving me lectures like I am crazy, telling me that I'm getting old. And then I have to, because I'm very quick-witted with these things, and I tell them, I'm 26 years old. If I died right now, would you say that I died old? So why do you think I'm old just because I'm not ready to, settle down, and I'm trying to do other things for myself? So it's just what it is, and there's nothing more that we can do other than talk about it and try to, I guess, rescue more women. So yeah, thank you.
All right, no problem, Chillo Tan. Let me go over here to Miss Simply Caramel.
Hey Trigger, hey
Hey.
Pam. Hey girl. As always, love to catch a live. So I just wanted to I'm gonna be really quick. I know I just got home from work, but I had got like a little like tingling and I was like, I wonder if she's on live. Like I had got like a little inkling, and Lord of Behold. So as always, I just wanted to come show some love. And yeah, like anytime you're talking about I love all your talking points, but one that's like, like the main reason why I would say that I follow you is, when you talk about femicide and the stats and all of that stuff. And I'm just girl, I'm sick of it. I didn't even hear about the guy that you posted. In the case with that, I haven't heard of that case. One of the ones that I've been hearing about recently that's been hot in the media was the Cara Thompson one, and that happened down in PG County. I'm from PG County. I moved from there, but I grew up in PG County, and it's like really close to home for me. And with her just being such a young, beautiful girl, you know what I'm saying? It's like every day, it's nonstop for some, it's, I'm sick of it. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm really sick of too is, the ignorance, or the willful ignorance, I should say, because it's 2025, people, talk about femicide or have heard about it, or especially being, a Black woman, myself, and the fact that, we are the most vulnerable and things like that. And like I've said before on one of your panels, I lost a dear friend, which is like a sister to me, to DV. And I've experienced, DV, and I've had to go through like therapy and everything like that just to try to heal from a lot of the trauma, messing with men, and being a single mom myself. And it's tiring, you know what I'm saying? And it is hurtful, very hurtful, especially when we hear other women who just completely choose to ignore the facts and ignore the statistics. And even if you're not a Black woman, you know what I'm saying, just the fact that we being, us being women in general, like we say, it's not just us as BLK women, but still, you know what I'm saying, being a woman in general, we can all relate, you know what I'm saying, like you said, this is, and I've seen it too, like on certain lives, where it's women of all different races, cultures, ethnicities, things like that, all around the world, you know what I'm saying. And it's very hurtful. And I'm just tired of the collective of the society that just choose to keep ignoring these things and don't want to believe in the numbers. And I've had women argue with me about, oh, that's just, the men who you mess with or whatever like that. We can't just say that. If it's women all around the world, you know what I'm saying, and we all come into a full circle, you know what I'm saying, the men of the problem, and then we have facts to back it up too. And now we got, chat GPT, AI, things like that. Like when I look on FBI.gov and see things like men have historically, this is not nothing new, they have historically been known to be the most violent, you know what I'm saying, by nature and things like that. So, and patriarchy and just all this stuff. So anyway, like I said, I love these talking points. I know you said you about to get out of here, but like I said, it's like the main reason why I do follow you. I love everything that you're doing. I hope you never stop. I'm rooting for you, even if I don't get a chance to come on here. When I do come on here, you know what I'm saying, I definitely want to show some love, girl. I'm a single mom of 3. I'm putting myself through RN school. I'm about to graduate next week, actually. So I've been like really, really busy, you know.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much. So, but yeah, like I'm always rooting for you, and yeah, thank you.
No problem, no problem at all, Miss Carmel. And I just want to tell you once again, congratulations. I know that that was hard, and I know that you did a lot to get to where you at right now. And I just want to say, for what it's worth, I'm very proud of you. And I think that is awesome and amazing for real. And I just want to give you your flowers because that is so great. That is so great. And I will definitely be needing your email for my unwarranted nursing advice. That way any health advice, health concerns, I'll be bothering you. I'll be like, you know what, Carmel, I got like a little rash on here or something like that. I need you to tell me because I know the nurses have some information like that too. So I'm gonna need you to give me some diagnosis. All right. I'm just playing. But no, seriously though, I really want to say that is just so great and so awesome. And what you mentioned about like Dakara Thompson, I should have mentioned her as well. I just think that what happened to her being 19 and being unalived by that monster, he was Hispanic or whatever, but I think there was another black woman that was unalived. I think she was unalived in Indiana a little while ago, getting an Uber home by a Hispanic man as well. And these things that I really wish that also that when black men devalue black women publicly like this, they also make it clear to other races of men that black women are an easy target as well, and that they will feel more comfortable in enacting harm on black women. Because I don't know if most people know, but most crime is intraracial. Most crimes like that men will commit, they will commit it against a woman that's of their own culture, their own race. But black women are the only race of women where there are a lot of men that are of other races that come to us to do the harm. And the reason why I really believe that happens is because black men so publicly devalue black women. And the fact that this girl was only 19 years old and found fully nude and just tossed away like nothing, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I, it's so terrible. Like, and when we hear these things, we so used to hearing it. Just like me and Zora, we over here talking about different cases of people that have been unalived, and we getting all the things confused because there's so many things where people are harmed. Black women are harmed, and it's ridiculous. It really is. And I really do feel like the devaluing of black women publicly leads to a lot of this. And that's why I just can't respect the collective of black men ever again. And, I just can't see myself ever standing up for them and trying to defend them or trying to speak up for things that happen to them ever again. Like, I've been to marches before. I've been to rallies before. I've made posts back in the day when I was on my pro-black stuff as opposed to what I am now, pro-black woman. I've made posts about black men and things that they have experienced and said, hey, you know what? Treating black men like this is wrong. We gotta fight back, y'all. Never again. Never again. I personally will never do it. I have seen some egregious things that have happened to black men that made me feel like, oh wow, that's terrible. But it's never terrible enough for me to speak up and say anything about it, because I just feel like the things that black men as a collective have done to destroy the image of black women, to make the whole world feel as if like we are just basically fodder. I just can't forgive it. I really cannot. The only way I could ever see myself is if I knew a black man personally, and I don't even know any personally other than my husband. I don't even know no black men that I talk to that I would say anything for. And so, yeah, I just think that more and more of these things will continue to happen. And I said this like maybe like a year and a half ago. I really do believe that more of these things will continue to happen because black men are so public and so vocal and so violent in their hatred and devaluation of us. And I don't see that being returned by black women. Even I make my things about black men, but I know that I don't. Even Zora, who said a lot of things that were true, that about black men that could be considered harsh or whatever. She didn't say nothing that wasn't wrong, and she didn't say it in a way that black men say it, if you get what I'm saying. And we have not done anything as a collective to black men in the way that they had to us for them to even be mad. But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I just feel like a lot of wave of these younger black women being unalived by men that are outside of the community, even though it was not done by a black man's hand, I still feel like if you get to the root cause of why these men felt like they could just easily do that, it's probably deeper than we all know. But let me go up here to Calandra, then Supervillain, and then Zora, and then I'll get up out of here, you guys.
You know what, Trigger? After you just said that story about him unaliving his sister and his nephew, at that point, they need to be born in jail. I really hate to say it, but they need to be born in jail and work themselves their way out. Because what do you mean you unalive them and you lay on that couch naked? Like, what type of person are you? And I think it's very sad. I didn't really hear about the Dakar times. I saw lies about it, but it was by Pikmis and these loser men. I just kept scrolling on my TikTok, just kept scrolling because I can't. But I think black men, I definitely agree with you, Trigger. I used to go to rallies and stuff with my family, but I'm at a point in my life where good luck to them because I just can't. I feel like I'm definitely with you, Trigger. I definitely think when you're on live and you're on media representation and the viral things that are going viral is the disrespect of black women. You are making other races of men do that. And like I said, I don't know what goes on in other communities, but I never see white men getting on apps dogging white women. And I'm not saying that they don't do that. I'm just saying that I don't see it as much on my For You page as I've seen that Leprechaun Man. And the last one I'll make, that Leprechaun Man, I hate to say it, but the same thing I said about Diddy. Most of these men be wanting to be with each other. And they're because you just got out of jail, people were probably playing with your behind, and you came out mad at women because you want to be with the men that were playing with your behind when you were in the clean. You want to be with them when you out of it. And at that point, I said the same thing about Diddy. I think he was beating on those women because he wanted to be with those men. And instead of you having all this hate towards women and stuff, be with the men. Go be with them. Y'all be together. Stop hating women and just go be with them. But that's all I have to say.
I agree. I think it'd be a whole lot better, okay, if they were to do that and keep the aggression and the violence strictly towards each other. Let me go down here to Miss Supervillain and then Zora. Go ahead, Miss Supervillain.
Yes. Well, first, just want to thank you for this space for us to have this conversation. This is one of the only places on TikTok where Black women can just be and not be judged about it. I do want to say to the numbers, and y'all, the numbers aren't just a piece of ink on, black ink on a white piece of paper. Each number accounts for the life of a black woman or girl, somebody's sister, aunt, mother, best friend, niece. So when we are reporting these numbers, it's not to be inflammatory. It's so that we have the knowledge. Again, these are people's lives that they're not going to be able to continue to do the thing that they were purposed to do on this earth because of a degenerate. I also want to say, I know a lot of the time this topic gets us down. I want every black woman to just hold that little black girl that's still inside them. Y'all know I'm big on doing the work. Heal that inner child. Listen to that little black girl. Take some time, and even if it's in a corner, listen to that little black girl from years ago. Validate her feelings. Do something that would make her happy. Y'all know my thing is I love cheetah girls, so my whole room, my decor is cheetah print, leopard print, all that tackiness. I love to be in my room because it heals the little black girl that wasn't validated or listened to. So I just want y'all to participate in doing that exercise. And I'm going to always say this. I love black women. I love black girls. And if you feel that little tingle in your heart, that's me reaching out, giving you some love. Again, thank you so much for this space, Trigger. And y'all all have a great rest of your day.
All right, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, sis. All right, let me go down here to Miss Zora.
I just want to say, let's get to 15K. Let's get Sugar to 15K before we get out of here. Let's tap the screen up because we can. And she's providing the space. It's the least we can do. I wanted to close out with because I had a whole lot of thoughts as we were talking. And one of the main ones is the reason why my points are so solid is because I was a community activist for so long. Where I always privileged be okay women and children, but it included the men just by proxy. So when I'm speaking, the reason why it's not just, you know what I'm saying, talking points that can be erased, or it's because it can't, like the same way that I studied BOK history, right, and was where it was bent towards the men, it's the same way that I studied the history or piecing together what was going on with the women. It's the same, like I'm not playing because I already started at a point of BOK centered. So you can't like move me. It's not a personal beef with the men. No, there's something off with them, period. That's it. And so I just want to say that piece. And I think part of it is that knowing, I think Sandra Bland was a turning point for me to see how BOK men particularly dealt with a woman who felt strongly about the entire community, right? The young woman who was in her home and told the popo no, I don't know if we can say it on TikTok, and they came into her home anyway, and the baby dad ran out the window and left the 2-year-old toddler with her to be, and I wish I can remember names, y'all, but I can't. So if somebody has a name, feel free to put it in the live between tapping, and left her to deal with that, to the situation by himself. So the woman was unalived and the baby was there just crying, and the baby dad is out the window, literally. To the GF situation, Floyd situation, where this man was involved in putting a weapon to either BOK women or Hispanic women's stomach. Like it's too, like, to be as passionate as I was about the BOK community, it's the same passion I have for understanding who these men are. And it's painful. That's why Faina said the word unforgivable, and you say you would never go back. Me either. Because to be honest, they count on us being able to do that for them and with them. Because what movement have BOK men led by and with themselves that privileged the women? None. And you can't say that about any other group of men. So yeah, it's a real strong sense of justice. And I think that continent tells us a story, right? Because it's like, oh, okay, so y'all saying if the WM is present, he made you act this way. Well, explain the Moors, explain the continent. And I just wish that BOK women in westernized countries with more laws didn't participate almost to the same degree with the same excuses that women who have less laws on the books do. So there's something there. I just want to put that out there. But thank you, yeah, for having this space. And I'm trying to filibuster to 15K, but we're already here. We're at 13K. That's all I got.
All right, all right, all right. I definitely appreciate you, Zora. And I appreciate the information that you put out there today. I definitely appreciate it. I mean, I don't really have anything to say. Like I appreciate everything you ladies said. I will say the only thing I just wish that there was something that more of us could do, like as Black women, to stop these things from happening to other Black women, because I just know I'm tired of seeing it, man. It's very upsetting to me. I'm tired of seeing Black women losing their lives. I really am tired of it. And sorry. I'm real tired of it. And the only thing I could just say is that if you're a Black woman, I really do believe that if you can, once again, I'm going to say it one more time, I really do believe that you should arm yourself. If you are in a place that you can have a pew pew and with no problems, you should get one. You can even get one on the lower end that'll cost you like $300 or $400. And you can take a Groupon class where they will teach you how to, safety of it, teach you how to load it. Some of them will even take you to a place where you can target, you use the targets, and they'll show you how to properly aim so that you're aware of what you're doing. Because if you do get it, you still need to be aware of pew pew safety. That way you don't harm yourself or harm somebody else. And that way, just in case you do need to defend yourself, you will know the proper way to do so. So I do believe that you should definitely do that. I do have a concealed carry as well. And I do believe that that's something that's very, very, very important in my opinion. I think if you're a black woman and you might take Ubers or Lyfts or something like that, I believe that every single time you go and you get in that Uber or Lyft, if you have the opportunity to have a pew pew, you should always keep it with you. There are certain type of smaller pew pews that are easily concealable that you can have in a small crossbody bag or a small purse, or you can wear like a small holster that hugs your body that's underneath your clothes, depending on the type of weapon that you choose, to where you can literally take it everywhere. And that way, if somebody tries you and you're in an Uber, you're in a Lyft, or you're walking, or you're running, you're doing a run around your neighborhood, or you're doing a walk around your neighborhood, that you can make sure that they have the biggest surprise of their life if they try you. And I really, 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 really do think that if you can, you should now rather than later. And if you can't do it now due to finances, I do think that most people, if you're filing taxes, you might, even if you don't get that much, maybe you get like 500 back or something like that. If you don't have the money, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you can just put aside like $50 a month or something like that to save it so that you can get it. But I really do believe truly that that's something that you should invest in and get. Even if you do like what is it called? A firm, or the ones where they do like the 4 payments or whatever. Like, even if you could do one of those, like, any way to get it, you really, really, truly should, because these men are not playing, and black men are not helping the matters by making everybody feel like we're public enemy number one. So I do believe that that's one of the main lines of defense. Like I said, y'all know not everybody believes in God or whatever, but I also think that if you do, this is not pushing my thoughts on everybody. I do believe in God, but I'm not trying to push my belief system on anyone. But if you do believe in God, I do believe you should stay prayerful. You know what I'm saying as well, but also stay prayerful and protect yourself as well. Because, in my opinion, God will help you, but he also wants you to have the tools as well. So that's just my thoughts. And if you can't do that, then have other avenues to protect yourself as well. There are other things that you can use besides a pew pew, but the pew pew, of course, being the main stopper of the threat. At least when I took my pew pew class with a cop, that's what he said: center mass, that will stop the threat. You got to stop the threat. And that's what you tell the popo if you've had to do it, that you stop the threat. And that's all you were thinking about, is stopping the threat. Because if anybody knows that a man is considered a threat to a woman. So if a man was to try you and you was to put him in the dirt, him being a man, the mere fact that he's a man and is greatly stronger than you, he's considered a weapon that you can use deadly force upon. Just so that you know this. Please be aware, ladies. Please, please, please protect yourself and realize that you can't trust any of these men. When you see them in the store, if they ask you anything, they ask you to smell something, say no. If they ask you to touch something, say no. If they ask you anything, say no. Because at this point, you can't trust nobody. Even if you run out of gas, I still don't even think it's a smart thing to ask nobody to take you nowhere, ask somebody to do nothing for you, because you just never know. But if you do find yourself in a position where you need to ask somebody for help, please make sure, if you can, that you have that thing on you. Please. Please, I would hate to hear of any of you ladies having anything happen to you. All right, y'all. Well, I'll see y'all later. I just want you to know, if you're a black woman, you're listening to this, I love you. You're awesome. You're amazing. You're special. You're valuable. And all I want you to do is be safe and have a great life and live happy. All right. That's whether I disagree with anybody's thought perspective, it doesn't matter. If you a black woman, all I want is for you to be happy and live your life the way that you want to. So I'll see y'all later. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all day. My dog is over here. She is bothering me. Okay. So I got to go anyway. She is begging to be petted. Zena, would you? All right. I'll see y'all later. Bye.